Hunt Road?
Yes.
Please raise your hand.
Yeah, we did it. Okay, fine.
Hunt Avenue.
Excuse me?
Hunt Avenue. Yes.
Okay,
Hunt Road's the area.
yeah, all right, because we're trying to get rid of you folks, but anyway, so okay, we're gonna do little things a little bit out of order right now. We're gonna do, WPT Acquisition LLC, final re-subdivision, site plan PB 26-06. Anybody here from that? Please come up. Yes, sir.
So I'm here tonight.
So- Yes, Jesse Coakley, Jesseckokley, with Collier's Engineering and Design, the engineer of record for the site plan and the re-subdivision. We're here tonight just to request two 90-day extensions on the re-subdivision only. We've been working with the surveyor, a different firm, to update the re-subdivision map to address Mr. Peters' comments and provide the information that's necessary for the county drainage agency to sign it. They had to go back out there and do a field update. I have the map with me here tonight. We're gonna send it over to the town tomorrow and the drainage agency for last review. And then we intend to print it on the Mylar and circulate it for signature and then record it within, 60 days at the county clerk.
Let me go through the consultant's reports. First one I have is from Department of Environmental Management and Engineering, January 13th. He has a total of 5 comments. I have another letter from the Office of Building, Zoning, and Planning, dated January 6th, and they have 1 comment. And I also have a letter from Collier Engineering dated December 2nd in respect to the approval for the extension. Okay, anything else, Audrey? Thank you very much. Andy, question, comments?
No question.
Thank you. Lisa, question, comment?
No.
Mike, question, comments?
No comments.
No.
Denise?
No.
Matt?
No.
Matt? Bruce?
No.
Okay. I have a motion for,
Public portion?
oh, okay, I'm gonna open it up to the public. Does the public have any?
Motion for public portion?
Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Gonna open up to the public. Does the public have any questions or comments on this application? One more time. Does the public have any questions or comments? Hearing none, a motion to close?
Motion to close public portion.
Second, all in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Opposed, none. A motion to grant two 90-day extensions?
Yeah, motion to grant two 90-day extensions for the WPT Acquisitions LLC final re-subdivision site plan only, which would be 518 Route 303 and 13 Mountain View Road, and 21 Mountain View Road in Orangeburg.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Opposed? One opposition. Okay?
Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you. Okay, the next will be Motar 303 subdivision site plan. Again, another request for two 90-day extensions. Anybody here for that?
Yeah, I am.
Yes, sir, Mr. Brenner. Good evening, Happy New Year.
Hey, how you doing? How you feeling?
Good,
All right.
much better. Yes, sir.
There was a problem with getting the easement recorded, which the DEP wanted for this project. We finally actually got it signed. We need additional time to actually file the map. We're in the process of filing everything. It is finished, but it could run out, and that's why we're asking for additional time to file a map.
Okay, thank you. Audrey, I don't have any paperwork on that. Is there anything? Nothing? Okay. Andy, questions or comments?
No question.
Thank you. Lisa, question or comment?
No.
Mike, questions or comments?
No comments at this time.
Okay, thank you.
No.
Matt?
No.
Matt?
No.
Bruce?
No.
Okay. You can open up to the, motion to open to the public?
We have
favor? Opposed? None? Okay. Anybody from the public wish to speak on this project? So one more time, anybody from the public wish to speak? Okay, motion to close?
Motion to close public portion.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? None? Okay. Mr. Brenner, you have your extension.
Thank you.
Okay. Yes. Yeah, because that's Together Lane. That's Together Lane. You wanna do Hunt Road? Okay. Mr. Brenner, coming back up, we're doing Hunt Road now, which is,
What do you look for?
on the agenda.
Here you go.
We're gonna do the Pearl River Garden Site Plan, PB 25-62. Okay. Yeah. This is Pearl River Gardens.
That's correct. Sign your name and, yep.
Can I have your name first, sir? Your name first?
Anthony Capiti, K-A-P-I-T-I.
Donald Brenner, right?
Carl Ackerman, architect. Carl Ackerman, architect.
Give me just a second. I have a couple people, papers to get straightened out. I think I'm there now. Yes, sir, what can I do for you?
Okay, I just would like to put certain information on the record, okay? Number one, I am representing a owner of an existing apartment complex in Pearl River who's owned this complex for 21 years. They are local people, they live in the neighborhood. It's this project. What had happened has been a great demand in the area for regular apartments, not so much senior apartments, but regular apartments that are needed for the young families that want to stay in the area. There was additional real estate involved in this particular parcel. Under our code, there is a possibility that that real estate could be used for one additional building. It's not going to be for any kind of financing for low-income housing. It is going to be upgrade housing. In fact, if anything, anybody who builds anything today on private money, it is upgraded. There are no, so the thought was the builder would like to put an additional building there. He had the real estate. What we're really coming to you tonight is we would like to go to the zoning board because under the statute, we have to get a variance to permit this building. It's a non-conforming use. We have the area, we believe we can put another building up there. So primarily, we're here tonight to get permission to go to the zoning board and ask if the zoning board will give us the variance under the statute. It is nothing, we're building nothing in terms of low-income housing or anything of that sort. It's one additional building which we believe can be built under the statute by the builder who is here, the architect is here, the engineer is here. That's primarily what we're here for.
Question, I know there's several other buildings there. Would this be for the same level of residence, same type of residence?
Same exact type of resident.
Okay, thank you.
Could I interject for a second?
Sure.
So we were talking about it today, and there's a history with this particular site. And back in the sixties, and Mike, you made mention of this in the PRC, that you felt that it was granted a use by right. Back in the day, in the CC district, the MFR housing was allowed in a use in a CC district. So at that time, they did everything the right way and got a CO for that. So I understand, in my original comments, I said it didn't count as a 9.34. At that time, I didn't know, because I had no way of knowing that, our bulk tables, or use tables, aren't the same as they were back then, so I had no idea. But we found out with the attorneys that it was a use by right. So I withdrew that comment as far as 9.34, and we're allowing it as an expansion as a use by right.
Thank you, sir. Okay, let me go through the consultant's comments. Walk us through. I didn't hear.
Just gonna rent this a use by
Oh,
right?
I think you did.
Oh,
Basically did. There's just an additional, another building to conform with the other buildings that are there. Same use.
that's correct, exact same use.
How many apartments?
I believe the,
14 units.
Let me go through the consultant's reports and then we'll get into it. Okay? Okay, the Office of Building and Zoning and Planning, Rick Oliver, January 14th. This is revised. He has, at this time, 21 comments. I don't have the other one, I'll probably get to it in a moment. Okay, the original one was dated December 10th, and at that time, he had 22 comments. Okay, I have a letter from the Building Department of Environmental Management and Engineering, January 13th, and they have 18 comments. I have a letter from Rockland County Planning dated January 12th, of which they have 25.1 comments. I have a letter, this might be out of order a little bit. Oh, here, Bureau of Fire Prevention, Town of Orangetown, January 5th, of which they have 7 comments. Okay, I'll look at that up. This, I have Rick's other comment. Okay, fuel provider, we did. Here, I have a letter from Paul DeGance on December 14th, and he has 10 comments. I have a letter from Collier Engineering dated January 6th, of which they say, due to the comments above, additional clarification and information is necessary before we can recommend the Pearl River Garden site plan be approved for drainage. And he had, at that time, a total of 1 comment. I have a letter from Rockland County Sewer District Number 1 dated January 2nd, 2 comments. Letter from Rockland County Department of Health, January 13th, and they have 2 comments. I have a letter from Alfred Gaddy, O&R, dated December 3rd. Based on our drawing provided, there should not be any gas conflicts for the proposed work. Okay? I have another letter from Rick Oliver, January 12th. It's a letter from Jay Met. Okay, and expressing his concerns about the project. I have a letter forwarded for me from Rick Oliver, dated January 9th, from a Debbie Tucker. Okay, again, now, I noticed this one thing which kind of caught my eye. It said rooftop terrace.
we will talk about that.
Okay.
Okay.
So there, then, that is, okay. I have a letter dated January 13th, again forwarded from Rick Oliver, from Catherine Morrison pertaining to the project. I have a letter, January 14th, forwarded from Rick Oliver from a Matthew Willock. I have a letter forwarded January 13th from a Patrick Finn. that in. I have another letter from Rick Oliver for January 12th from a McLean Gillen. And I have these. I have a letter from the Rockland County Planning Board dated December 2nd, comments attached. I have another letter from Rockland County Planning Board, December 2nd, consenting the Town of Orangetown Planning Board serve as lead agent. I have a short EAF dated May 13th, 2025. And a narrative received on November 10th, 2025. Audrey, anything else? Thank you very much.
I would like to.
Yes, sir.
Okay,
Please.
since it's now been declared as a use by right, okay, we now wish to take the position, we understand certain things are now necessary to continue this, to get what we call a preliminary. Based on that, we know we have to do a traffic study. We know we have to get drainage approval. We know we would like to have the hearing here to see about other items which you brought about the roof terrace and explain that, which the architect can do. So we understand that we cannot get an approval tonight. We understand that we will ask for a continuation because we have to do these things, which is traffic study, drainage, and things of that sort. But we are open to answer the questions that were in the procedure and the questions that were being asked.
Okay, very good, thank you. Okay, Andy, questions or comments?
I need some clarification. Everybody is saying that this is Hunt Avenue. The address on all the plans is Middletown Road, which is, some of the notes here, you got
It
Hunt
would
Avenue.
technically be Middletown.
Middletown Road.
I believe it's,
So the building in the back will be, the address will be Middletown Road.
Essentially, because it's part of the same.
it's
parcel.
part of the same complex,
So we need to clear all that up,
okay?
all right? Parking, you're gonna have 14 apartments. 8 parking spots. Have enough room there for 28?
So right now, we have a total of 70 with the current parking configuration, including 6 in existing garages.
How close is 28 spots that you need for the new building gonna be to the new building?
Well, they're gonna be right adjacent to the new building. Right now, adjacent to the building, we have 24 spaces.
New spaces.
New spaces.
New spaces,
New space,
New space.
yes.
yes.
Rooftop. In, one of the letters here, that, rooftop terrace, gonna go over the saloon, because of that music, what's the rooftop terrace gonna be?
This, to go through that, this building is proposed to be fully handicap compliant. There's there's an elevator and 2 stair towers to the roof. Only one technically has to go for the fire access. We proposed the second one, so we can have a higher occupancy level on the roof. This is only a roof terrace for the residents of that building, or if the owner allows the other tenants to come over to have a barbecue. There's no place on the property that they can do something. This is a modern amenity to a building that every other building is doing to give people fresh air for natural. It's fit well, it's a new way of living, so people can get fresh air and go to the roof. There are no balconies proposed on this building other than Juliet balconies.
What's a Juliet?
A Juliet balcony is a door, a French set of doors that you can open with a railing.
Okay.
So there's no other balconies down lower on the building. This terrace is only a partial area on the roof, it is not occupying the entire roof. We're keeping it to a small space that's in between the 2 stair towers and away from all the adjacent residences.
Sure.
This is not a party place, it's gonna comply with local zoning, sound, the noise ordinance, everything.
So who's going to police the amount of people who go up on the roof, and how many people are gonna be allowed on the roof?
There's gonna be an occupancy count set by the size, as per New York State code, and the owner is gonna enforce this. He doesn't want complaints. This is only for tenants of that building, for those 14 people. If he allows others, that's a different story, but 14 tenants are allowed to go up there. They're paying for this as an amenity to their building alone. This is not a party spot. There is nothing else planned there. No parties. It's a residential building.
So, the building height, what's the building height on that?
It's a flat roof building, and we are below the requirements for height,
What is the height?
25 feet, if I recall.
Excuse me. So it's, how many stories is it?
25 feet. is it?
You proposed 22.
Yeah, worst case, I proposed 22, but depending on truss heights, final design, it's gonna be no higher than 25 feet.
And it's gonna be how many stories? 2, 3?
2 stories.
2 stories.
No parking below. All the parking is on grade, as the plan you can see up there. We are proposing a line of, there's going to be a landscape part of this design. We are providing a line of low buffer to the adjacent tenant on the west side, the adjacent home. But there's no cars going to be facing that direction, no headlights hitting the house. It's only a drive-through fire access road.
So you're talking about this here?
Correct. That's a new buffer of trees put in. And we're maintaining the existing buffer as per the planning, as per the zoning code.
And you're gonna have landscape drawing and everything like that?
Yeah, we have to do that part of the process.
Fire truck. I noticed in, Dave Majeski's, he's got, I think he has some concern about getting a fire truck around, probably on these radiuses here.
Well, we could address that. Part of the building code,
Down in
you're
here
required to
where the
have
cars
one
are.
access lane. One access lane to a building that's 14 feet wide. And we have that straight in when you drive right off of Hunt Avenue. Yeah, we have 24 feet. It's a
The
two-way.
access on the east side of the building is 24 feet. Typically, the code for 90-degree straight-in parking is 22, we made it a little wider. The radiuses entering and, we'll make them conform to whatever the fire and code inspector wants, that's not a problem.
And the building's going to be sprinkled.
It's a fully sprinkled building. The existing buildings are not sprinkled. This building, under the new modern building code, is required to have full sprinklers.
I have nothing further right now. I'll wait until I hear from the public. Thank you.
Thanks. Do you have a slide or drawing that you can show us what the new building is gonna look like, what the rooftop will look like, that you can put up here for us?
Is it on the slide or just that one?
Rick would have it.
Yeah.
Lower. I
Yeah,
think it's
2 more
the-
down. That's the plan. Here's the terrace. Right down. So this is, the existing building is here. That's the west side of the property. You're coming out the 2 stairs, there's a small little connecting to the terrace between the 2 towers. So the whole back side of the building, there's no roof. Only this hatched area is where there's a small terrace proposed.
Mhm.
And it's flanked in between the 2 stairs. Entire roof, the rest of it is gonna be natural drainage. We don't wanna make it big. It's a small little area to get outside.
Okay, can you go back to the first slide that you had up? Yeah. So obviously, I know we talked about, you need to have a traffic study done, you need to
Yes,
have drainage approved.
We have to do traffic study.
A lot of the things that Andy was asking, I think you've answered for me. On Hunt Avenue, there's existing trees that are there. Those are all remaining. How many are you taking out?
On the west side of Hunt, along the property line?
Yes,
We're
so-
maintaining that 25-foot buffer, so.
Right here?
That's the south side.
That's up.
No.
Oh,
Here, on the,
oh, okay, yeah,
yeah. I don't know how to use it.
Along the existing residence.
Yeah, here.
yeah, okay.
Along there, heading to the east from the new proposed entrance, there's really no planned construction other than the curb and the extension of the existing
Here.
pavement.
Yeah.
Over there, you're gonna have, a few trees are gonna get taken down, to the west of the entrance. Yeah, you got a 36-inch spruce, a 28-inch spruce, so some of those bigger evergreen type of trees are gonna have to come down, but that'll be incorporated in the landscaping plan to replace that.
And if they come out, we'll have to wrap that buffer around.
Okay. And these are all going to be new trees planted to
Correct.
provide a buffer? Are we able to get an image, a sightline image, what the neighbors will see from their property
Yeah, we can do that.
if, with the trees up?
There is an elevation, yeah, I could get something
Okay.
together, okay.
And right now, I don't have any other questions. Andy's asked a bunch, and he still have to come back, so.
Our
yeah.
elevation's part of the set, it's just,
Okay.
Mike?
Okay, thank you. Now, the bulk tables, what are you using, CC or the MFR?
excuse me?
On the bulk tables on your plans?
Well, we took them from your
Yeah.
architectural plans. So the bulk table is for the CC,
CC.
zoning district, use group JJ.
Very conflict with the CC?
Because it's MFR, you're gonna have to use that MFR.
So, I believe that was your comment about the parking, right? Was, the parking was for the MFR, but the bulk was for the CC?
Right.
So, all right, we'll update and revise that, that's not a problem.
I mean, we also had a question about height because, you only went to the top of the outside of the building on the top.
The penthouses do not count as height in the New York State Building Code. There's no occupied space up there, there's no bathrooms, there's no other room. It's literally a fire stair. The one little mechanical penthouse.
I would question that, but we can talk about
Yeah.
it for our definition.
We can go through it, yeah.
Now, you're saying on your roof terrace there, you're saying the owner will determine if it's only residents of that building, or it could be used by all the residents of the development itself?
It's up to the owner, but
Well, it would
That's
be,
a condition, I
Yeah.
wanna know
Yeah.
exactly who's gonna be using it, number one. I wanna know what the occupancy is per the fire code, right off the bat.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I can't vote for anything that doesn't pertain to the safety of the building and
Right.
the people in it, and for the neighboring area.
I mean, I can answer that question now. It's just gonna be for that new, the tenants of that new property, the new, building that's being put up is gonna be exclusive just to them, because it's gonna be something they're paying for.
What's the occupancy gonna be? You're gonna have to
How many
determine that.
people on the roof?
Yeah.
Whatever, what the code
wouldn't know.
will
Yeah,
permit.
But I'd like to
I'll
know
run
what
the-
the code states on
We
it.
will speak to the fire
right.
All right.
whatever the code
That's an
permits.
answer I want when one of the things. I
When we
want to
come
know.
back, yes, you'll have that answer.
Now, okay, okay, let me go over this first. What's the distance from the building to the property line?
From the proposed building to the property line on Hunt, it's 25.2 feet.
No, not Hunt,
The other way,
to going,
south side.
going to the, no, going to the west side.
Going to the
This is
west,
Yeah, that's what I want to know.
48 feet.
Okay, what's south?
South is 46.3 feet.
What's the distance from the property line to the residence?
Existing or proposed?
No, existing, or proposed.
Is this the property line right here?
Yes,
That's the property line,
Yep.
correct.
So you wanted to know from here to here, Mike?
No, you already gave me that. You said,
That's 48 feet.
okay, now if you take out the driveway that's going around there, what's the distance then, without the driveway?
Driveway looks 18 feet,
18 feet? Yeah.
46 minus 18,
30 feet.
28 feet. And that includes the 25-foot buffer that's required.
Definitely with the landscape plan comes in, I wanna see screening, but not with things that only drop their leaves in the winter. It's gotta be
Yeah,
something
just-
that
of course.
24,
Of course.
green giant arborvitae's, Leland cypress, and that type of thing. It's gotta be shown there. Now, on the landscape plan, you also have to show what trees you're leaving and what trees you're taking down.
Mhm.
Right.
Part of it. And the diagram should show the residences on the south side, on the west side. On the south, you got the bank, on the east,
The bank is on the south side.
bank is on the south side.
South side,
yeah.
You have that, but I'd like to know on the west side, the houses on the other side where you're coming out, is that, what's the driveway now? Driveway is how many feet? 50 feet?
The driveway,
Yeah.
the minimum width is 24 with the radius, it's probably around 40, 41 feet.
Okay, so they should show it on the map then. Those figures should be on the site plan.
Yep.
But I wanna know the driveways on the other side. Also, is there any plans to put any sidewalks in? There's no sidewalks on that block at all, but I was just-
No, there's no sidewalk on that.
Now, you're asking to go to the ZBA, in other words.
Not now.
Okay,
Oh,
not
I
now.
was asking.
Okay.
We will go to the ZBA because there will probably be some variances needed, but we have to get approval from the planning board to go for the ZBA as a matter of
Just
right.
asking because if you were gonna go to the ZBA right away,
No.
I wanna know what plan you were trying to submit to.
No, we're not. We were planning, can we do it, but you just ruled that we have a right to do it. We don't have to go to the ZBA that way.
The other side, just looking at the, what we've gotten so far, plus, the drainage on there, you gotta submit a drainage plan. Do we know what this area of disturbance is yet?
That's less than an acre. You know, until we do the final grading, hard to determine the total area disturbance, but the site itself,
But you're
Is-
building on the current drainage area, right?
the current, you mean the current drainage area for the existing facility? I don't know that yet, so.
I think that was one of the documents that.
I haven't seen
it's on
the
the drainage
previously
field.
submitted plan.
So you have to have, the drainage has to show for the entire property, right?
Of
That's-
course,
Not to show for the new building.
of course. Well, we'll have to confirm the existing drainage and then come up with an appropriate plan from there.
Right, plus, no water can go, west.
Of
Then
course.
figure out something, because right now that slopes down to the west dramatically.
Well, I imagine just in my mind with the grading, you're gonna probably need a small wall along that westerly line for the proposed roadway. So that would also help prevent water from going towards the west.
Well, it has to be raised up a bit, though.
Yep, couple feet, yeah.
At least a couple of feet from what I can see. That's all I have right now.
I forgot one question, I might have missed it. So there's 14 units, how many bedrooms in each of the units?
There's only one two-bedroom unit.
One two-bedroom and the rest,
The rest were all one.
or one bedrooms?
Are you gonna be, you said you were gonna be short on parking?
According to the table that we used, we hit the 70 spaces, 68 were required, so we were over two, but that also included six spaces in the existing garages.
Because I was thinking if you were to, come on, I hit the right button. Cut this off here, this road, you put two there, and bring this road out here. Again, making it one-way coming around, so you don't have any outgoing traffic. So you could put two here and two here.
Yeah,
That's
I
just another
understand.
idea
No, it's
for
a
it.
good idea.
Instead-
Very good idea.
Instead of fire lane,
Yep, make it a fire access.
Yeah, it makes that straight.
Yep,
Instead
yep.
of having that turn for the fire, two turns for the fire
Yep.
engine, it's a straight run.
It's very,
They
that's a
come right straight
very
in
good
off
idea.
the hunt.
It's a good idea.
And plus you can put a lot more vegetation in that area, so
Exactly.
better
very good.
screening.
it would have to be just an emergency
I don't know if they can make that
entrance.
turn.
No, that's a normal.
Yeah, we
road.
gotta have
No,
access.
now, you're talking about a second entrance there.
We'll have to
Right
need
now,
the
you have
radius of
second
the
entrance
truck.
here.
Yeah.
So if you eliminate that, put it here, take it out to the street, so this is a straight run here. You can put two more parking spots here and two more here, and then a lot more vegetation in here.
Right.
It's just an idea,
Yeah,
something,
but
something
you're-
you consider.
You're coming around the
Limiting
building.
the access to that building.
Yeah.
Limiting the
Yeah,
access to
well,
the
okay.
building.
Any questions?
Sure, so I have a couple of questions about just parking in general. It looks like the size of this building, it's gonna be significantly larger than all the buildings that are already there. So it seems like a massive add, and that you're really trying to squeeze every inch of it, and then trying to get the parking in, and it doesn't totally fit. I think you actually have 69, not 70 spots. But you're not including any areas for like hatch like you have right now for people that do park, that have to go to the walkway to like get to the walkway. So, and you also have dumpster area is staying the same, but you're essentially adding the equivalent of two more of the existing buildings there. So I think that area is gonna have to increase, which will likely take over parking as well. So I don't think you'll have enough parking spaces. And just in general, Hunt seems to be a narrow road, and there's people double parked on that street all the time. And I think you're just cutting it too close with parking in this parking lot to support the size of a new building.
We will definitely, the traffic study will analyze that situation.
Okay.
Because that's, and everybody's asking for it, and it is needed. So we will hope to have better answers when the study's done.
Okay. That was most of my questions for now.
Matt?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of the same questions and concerns have already been asked, but I was gonna ask about the bedroom, you answered it, mostly one bedroom, 2-bedroom. So I think someone said 14 people, obviously it's gonna be more than 14 people, you know, couples, et cetera,
Yeah.
some with kids in that 2-bedroom. Has there been any consideration to scaling it back so that it's not as much of an impact to the community? Maybe not, the square footage is a great point, it's very big, but reducing it from a 1-story, from a 2-story to 1-story, something like that, any consideration given to that?
I don't think it would look right. The other building's 2-story, isn't it?
Yeah, the 2 stories, we're doing a flat roof, so it's gonna be lower
I don't
than-
think we should go up higher, but I think
Right.
it should conform to the height. It's
Yeah.
just a thought.
I wouldn't say it would have to go up as high as what you're planning to do right now. You could do like a condo type, townhouse type, I should say. Something to think about. And then one other comment I would have is, it doesn't look like it based on the site plan, but is there any way to get a driveway up to Middletown Road so people aren't exiting onto Hunt?
There's an existing parking lot. The grade is
It's already there,
kind of
yeah.
prohibitive
So
of.
you don't have to use Hunt?
We already have an existing entrance in the back. Like that lot, like I don't know
There's a whole
if you
front
could
lot.
see it, but it's already
Right,
existing.
But this back lot is not connected to the front lot. That's what I'm saying.
No, it's
grade
not- it's not
prohibitive. Yeah, it's very
There's no
difficult.
way to get that, okay. So I mean, that would be the other concern, right, because now you're gonna put all this extra traffic on the Hunt, you're saying there's no way to get around. Yeah, I mean, those are my comments.
Thank you.
I have one more
Oh, sure.
question, sorry, I'm sorry.
No.
Just struck you, as you said it, I forgot to read my notes. So you're proposing this, like, this roof terrace as like an amenity?
Mhm.
But, something to consider, and I think you kind of did it a little better on the other 3 buildings there, is maybe adding green space at level, at grade, instead of on a roof. So you're reducing the size of the building, but you're giving them an amenity of having green space. So you're still meeting that, if that's a want. But that's just kind of,
Yeah, it's always a challenge with parking.
I know. Sorry,
Okay, Matt, other Matt.
How many residents do you have in the 3 existing buildings?
Well, it's 29 units, so.
But in terms of just the number of people that are,
Sometimes you have single people, sometimes you have couples.
29,
Sometimes you have couples.
right?
No,
It just depends, because sometimes you have single people live in the 1-bedrooms, couples, and then we have, I think, 4 2-bedrooms, so 4 or 5, so those are normally couples, maybe sometimes kids, but
So your existing unit mix is
1s and 2s.
1s and 2s?
Yes.
4 2-bedrooms, you said, in the 3,
No,
sorry, in the existing?
5 2-beds,
In the existing units, you have 5 2-bedrooms, the rest are 1-bedrooms?
Correct.
Okay. The amenity space on the roof, how, just in terms of, enforcing a restriction, do you have you don't have on-site staff like a super?
If this changes it, we're there every day, so
Okay.
we live in town.
Okay. And I guess, you could have sort of like a key fob or something. so-
Correct.
So if there was a situation where someone stayed late and you had a complaint, you would be able to identify which unit was violating the,
Correct.
yeah.
And also, obviously, cameras and stuff to monitor at all times. But we want as few problems as possible.
I get it. Yeah, we'll wait for a public portion, but that's all I had.
Rose, question or comments?
I
I remember when these buildings were built, the apartments, and the bank, I was a young kid, but there's no restriction. I was sort of weird that the property wasn't built on to begin with. Same with the bank, you notice the bank has a big parking lot there that.
Original plan, that was a designated later.
Right, so, but there was no restriction on those future buildings or anything like that? Well, I mean, we can hold, we don't have records. That was a part of the decision that was made back then, or? Yeah, I mean, well, we gotta have files, records, and go back, to find out. I'm just saying.
Well, we know what they did, we can't say what their intention was or what they.
No, but I mean, if we restricted that now, there would be something on the plan that restrict any future development. Nothing like that done,
There's nothing in the language other than on the plan, it just shows it.
Bruce, you done?
especially because the other building on Hunt, that goes all the way back. These buildings, everything's back south, almost in the same spot, you know? I always thought that was a little odd, the other way.
Well, yeah, that's what you guys are doing.
No, but I mean, if they wanted back then.
The, the only thing we will do, we will run a study in the county clerk's office to see if anything's been recorded. That's the best we can do. We will do that.
Yeah, I mean, the problem plus is that they're not providing overflow.
Tom, I just got,
Any other board
Tom, I
members?
just got one more question. Is the new building, so the new building gonna sit lower than the other buildings? The topography is lower than the other ones? Okay. I have nothing else.
Yeah, there's a couple of things, they're talking about the fire trucks, you need a fire truck turning diagram.
We have one, we were given one, right.
Okay, using their figures, right?
We must meet the requirement,
Okay,
yeah,
just making sure.
right.
Looking at the parking, there's no handicap spots.
It will designate the handicaps.
So you got it designated on the plans. Snow removal area, you'll have to come back. And, dumpster, whatever. But on the rooftop now, again, what kind of fencing are you putting up there?
Looking to put a parapet, small little fenced area around that area, inset from the roof. We don't want to increase the,
Do we have any noise attenuation,
we can look at that, yeah.
take a look at that? Especially facing to the north and west.
West.
And the entrance to that rooftop will be controlled with a key fob or some type of security,
Yep,
so that somebody from the outside can't get up on it.
Access only to the tenants
correct.
that live in it, yeah.
These should be notes put on the
The
plan.
building's gonna have access control, and the same
Right.
system can control the roof.
Anybody else? Okay.
I would like to see sightline view pictures from the residents, what they'll be able to see from their home, if they can see the roof. We make a motion to open to the public?
Okay, can I have a motion to open up to the public?
I just did.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
I made the first motion, but that's okay.
It's gonna open it up to the public. Okay, now, there's a lot of you, and I know a lot of you have a lot of concerns. Couple things. There's not gonna be any decision made tonight. The applicant already asked for a continuation because there's a lot of information that this board needs, the town needs, and I know you folks are interested in, okay? Please, we want everybody to speak, but if the person in front of you said the exact same thing that you have said, please, just come up, just say, hi, my name is so-and-so, I agree with the person in front of me. We want your name for the record, we want your information, but don't be redundant. Everybody says, well, I don't like it, I don't like it, I don't like it. We're gonna have 500 people say, I don't like it, where one person could have said the same thing, okay? I want everybody to speak, so whomever wants to come up, please come up, sign in, and tell us your concerns.
Please direct all questions.
Sign in here for one person, and everybody you have 3 minutes, so this way we can get everybody's information. Yes, sir. State your name and address for the record, please.
My name is Connor Riley. I live at 166 Hunt Ave, which is the property directly west of the proposed project. I was born and raised in Pearl River, and when my now wife and I were searching for a home, the one thing we knew for certain was that we wanted to stay here and raise our family in the town that raised us. Pearl River is not just where we live, it's a home. Today, my wife and I are raising our 4- and 1-year-old children here, so the character and safety of this neighborhood matter deeply to us. When we purchased this property, we were fully aware of what we were located next to. However, the existing garden apartments are set back about 150 feet from our property, with a long-established green space between our home and the current building. We're fully aware who owns the property and have visited their restaurant numerous times on numerous occasions. I want to be clear that I'm not opposed to development or progress in our community. However, I strongly believe that any development should respect and preserve the charm, character, and small-town feel that make Pearl River so special. That sense of community is something we all know and love, and should be at the forefront of every project we approve. With that in mind, I'm here to respectfully ask that the board strongly considers against this project. The proposed project raises serious concerns about environmental impact, safety, and quality of life. The addition of this 2-story, 14-unit building with driveway and parking lot will increase stormwater runoff, which is already a problem, remove mature trees, disturb wildlife, raise flooding, and drainage issues, causing long-term impacts on our neighborhood, which has not been fully or independently studied as brought up. The proposed roadway would run directly alongside my backyard, an area where our 2 children play, along with our friends and families and their young children as well. Our swing set is located right along that proposed roadway, where our toddlers play every day. Even with the tree barrier, the introduction of constant vehicle traffic so close to our home transforms this space from a place of security into an ongoing safety concern for our children. I'm also deeply concerned about the traffic and street safety. 14 residential units will bring a significant increase in daily traffic to a residential road that has no sidewalks, making it especially dangerous for pedestrians and children. The plan also does not provide enough on-site parking. I believe the architect misspoke when he said there's 24 new parking spots proposed when there's only 12. Street parking is already at a premium on Hunt. An additional overflow parking will only worsen congestion, reduce visibility, and create further safety risks for neighbors and emergency vehicles. This project will also have a major impact on quality of life. Construction noise, dust, and disruption will last for months. Once completed, ongoing noise, headlights, parking lot lighting, among other things, will permanently reduce privacy and change the character of our neighborhood. The 2-story height of the building directly next to the existing home is especially concerning, and now that I know there is a rooftop terrace proposed, it makes it even worse. Additional.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Next, please sign in.
One at a time, please.
Am I good? Yeah, okay. Sorry. Hi, I'm Karina Poor, my husband.
Billy Poor.
We live across the street from the proposed site at 177 Hunt Avenue. We've lived there for over 16 years, raised 2 children there. It is already a dangerously busy through street without a yellow line and with very limited sight lines due to the amount of cars that already choose to park on the street. Even though there's plenty of empty spots in the parking lot, the roads are lined every single day with cars that choose to park on the street. Adding 14 units means dozens of additional motor vehicle trips a day. Even now, owners from the existing buildings choose to park on the street and not in the existing spaces. Many park overnight on the street, ignoring the winter restrictions. During winter snowfalls, cars were still left overnight on the street, and this was not addressed. Because of this, we were not able to have effective plowing after the last storm. Adding 14 households means more overnight street parking blocking driveways, making it more difficult for the snow plows. Another concern is the environmental impact. I agree with everything that's been said already. I also have concern about the impact on property values. Homeowners invested years of savings in their properties with the understanding that this area is zoned and planned as a residential neighborhood. We bought our houses with the understanding that existing apartment structures would not be expanded. Finally, the construction process itself will significantly affect our quality of life. Months or even years of noise, dust, vibration, blocked streets, and disrupted access. The footprint of the area is not wide enough for a construction process of this size. This will not be a minor inconvenience. It will be an unnecessary daily burden. This proposal places the course squarely on the people who already live here, with offering no benefit to the neighborhood itself. We ask that our concerns be taken seriously and the development decision respect the character, safety, and livability of our community. Thank you.
Yes, sign in, please.
Yes.
Yes, sir, state your name and address for the record, please.
Jeffrey Babcock, 131 North Main Street, apartment 4A, Pearl River, New York. Good evening to the board and to my neighbors. Tonight, we are here to discuss the proposed 14-unit expansion at Pearl River Gardens. This is a difficult and touchy topic for many in our town and county, particularly when concerns are raised about neighborhood character, traffic, and environmental impacts. As someone who is a lifelong Pearl River resident who lives on North Main, not far from Hunt, and works on Middletown Road, I understand these concerns, and they must be meaningfully addressed. They can't be ignored. But tonight, I want to speak about a perspective that I often find missing in our local politics, one that I believe, if ignored, will eventually be the undoing of our home. Sorry. And every aspect of it that we cherish so deeply, including our neighborhood character. And that is that we are facing a long-term demographic crisis, which will bring with it serious economic and civic consequences to our community. If we seek to preserve Rockland's character, we must allow responsible, thoughtful housing growth that keeps younger generations invested in this community and assure that our aging population that has served our community for decades may continue to live here with the stability and dignity that they deserve. As it currently stands, I cannot name one of my peers that intends to stay in Rockland, no matter how much they wish that they could, because it is no longer feasible nor sustainable to have a future here. As such, most of them have no investment in local politics because they have no stake in the future of our county. Only a quiet acceptance that they will be pushed out of their homes. I myself am weighing this possibility, one that entails leaving a community that is near and dear to my heart and was near and dear to my parents' hearts, one that gave me strength through the loss of my parents, and brings small moments of joy to my brother in between long 10-hour shifts at the KFC in town. Too often, these conversations end without a practical path forward to addressing this growing problem. As for the simple fear of change, I do understand it to a degree. The infamous Muddy Brook Cafe that my family and I spent many early morning celebrations eating their delicious silver dollar pancakes is no longer around. Mel's, whereas a goofy, hyper gremlin child, bursting with energy, and I would run out with the stuffed animals they had about the store and be scolded by Sorry, my bad. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Yes, sir. Good speech writer.
I'm sorry.
State your name and address for the record, please.
My name is Jim King, my wife Kelly King, both here. Agree with what Connor said and the Poors said. Also a resident right across the street from the project, and we do not agree with the project going up. Thank you.
Anyone else? Last time, anybody else wish, yes, ma'am? State your name and address for the record.
Hi, Carrie Gleason, 58 Hunt Avenue. So I'm on the other end of Hunt Avenue and agree with what everyone else said here today. But I do have some concerns. I know you guys said that the drainage has not been done. Is there a sewer study that's also going to be done? Because will they be tapping into our sewer line? Because one of the things that we've noticed at the other end of Hunt is during very bad rainstorms, you'll have the manhole cover bubbling with water coming out of it because of its being over flooded from different, storm drains. People have their sump pumps hooked up to the sewer lines, so we've seen the truck come around and pump out stuff occasionally. So that's one concern I have about it. Also, does the town have a green space amount per each lot in town? Like, does the property have to have 70% green space? Does it have to have 50%? I'd like to know.
Present a landscape plan which will show all that.
Okay, because that would also be a concern with the drainage, because like they said before, it's sloped into the other properties. One thing I've noticed is it is absolutely impossible to make a left-hand turn coming out of Hunt onto Middletown Road. Any time of the day, doesn't matter, morning, midday, afternoon, night, it's literally impossible. I've noticed driving just to Holt Drive, which is just across the way, at like 7 o'clock in the morning, driving my high schooler to school. There's apartments there. There are people. Obviously, those apartments have been there forever. You cannot get down that street. I have to wait for the bus, the middle school bus, because there's nowhere to go. There's cars all over the place. How are they going to handle the parking in the winter months when you're not allowed to park on the street between, November and April? There's cars all over the street the whole year. They send out the warning tickets. I don't know if they're actually giving out real tickets. So that's another concern that needs to be done. I think that was pretty much it. Yeah, I'm concerned about the flooding too, because I know that's definitely an issue. We see it at our end of the block because we're at the end where it plateaus and it flats out. So it all comes downhill from the whole, side of the street. And I think that's all I have. I think everyone else touched on everything else, but yeah, I'd be very interested. And then one other thing, sorry. I know you're saying that there's only 14 units, but I know with the apartments like on Holt Drive, for example, you're saying that they're one-bedroom apartments, but you've got to factor in there's going to be at least 2 people in there with 2 different cars. If there's a high school kid that maybe, like I know one of my son's friends, there's 3 cars in those apartments now. So you have to factor that in, that it's not going to just be 1 car per unit. It's going to be multiple cars per unit. And the rooftop, I think, is a little, I don't know, I'm not a fan of that one. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good evening. My name's Anthony Ramon. I live at 38 Hunt Avenue, which is more west toward Main Street. But I do share concerns of everyone who spoke here in terms of just my kids trying to walk the dog around the block with just added congestion with vehicles. There's cars parked on every side of the road already as it is. That visibility is definitely something that I think is a safety issue. It's barely a street right now that I would let my kid even think about riding a bicycle on. If you're gonna add close to 30 cars traveling up and down that block, already being a cut-through, this is basically a block that I could no longer even think about my child maybe walking his dog by himself as he's older or riding his bicycle to a friend's house. That's not really the community that I grew up in. I grew up in Pearl River my whole life. I remember leaving Buchanan Street, going up to Fillmore and playing with my friends and having a great time. My parents weren't worried about it. I want that small town community to be continuing and have that, shared neighborly feel, and not have a big apartment. My other major concern is this rooftop. It was mentioned before, yeah, the saloon has a rooftop, but that's in the middle of our town. It's a bar and restaurant surrounded by other bars and restaurants, and the police department already does get a lot of noise complaints in regard to that area. We're talking about now adding a rooftop balcony with, I'm not sure what kind of access or time limitation they're gonna have, which, some people might say 8 o'clock at night or 9 o'clock at night's not late, but there's young families who are next door, and if you're on that rooftop hanging out, you don't realize that the voice, music, and conversations travel. In nice weather days, they're not gonna be able to open their windows. Your conversations, noise, travel, and barbecues are gonna be right into their rooms, right into their living rooms. That's not the community that they chose to live in. That's not the property taxes they pay for, and I think that's really unfair. That rooftop, I think, is gonna cause more problems than good, especially with the young children and people who just wanna live peacefully in a small neighborhood. Thank you.
I'm Nancy Keon. We're on Hunt Avenue, 40 years. We raised our family there. We live right next door to Connor. I just have 2 questions. You say there's 29 units. Is there currently 58 parking spaces?
14 units.
No, for the existing apartments. There's 29 apartments. Is there currently 58 parking spaces for those apartments?
What was it called? It's 58, or what is the number?
Well, if not, then you have a parking issue really already. And also, there is a really serious drainage problem. They raised Connor's property level up a few years ago. The previous owner to Connor, without any kind of permits and stuff, when it rains, we have a stream running through our property, Connor's, and the 2 houses behind us. So there definitely is a drainage problem. Also, another concern is the tenants there currently use that green space all the time to play. The kids are out there. You have a lot of children in those apartments. They're on that green space playing soccer, they even use Connor's playground all the time. So that's a concern that they're probably not going to be happy with. And also, the traffic is horrendous, especially since they put the islands in on Middletown Road. The traffic now backs up to ShopRite to get out. And that's my concern, just like everyone else's.
Hi, Noreen Gernon, 149 Martin Place, Pearl River. I walk through the town continuously, and that happens to be a street that I walk on. It's horrible. I'm just agreeing with everybody with the traffic situation there. Just as a walker, the other part is the rooftop. I don't think there's going to be enough control over that rooftop, because if you are in that apartment, like living there, and you do have to key fob in, you could say, let's have 20 people to the apartment to go upstairs, and if there's multiple apartments, other people will want to utilize it. And the quota of people up there, I think, is going to be out of control. So I'm agreeing with everybody else. I'm opposed to this.
Anyone else? Yes, ma'am.
Oh, God, I'm sorry. My name's Patty Pojavite. I live on William Street in Pearl River. I have a question. Is every apartment going to be assigned a parking spot? And is there an additional charge for the parking? If there's an additional charge for the parking and a resident doesn't want to pay the additional fee, that means they are going to have to park on the street. So if each apartment gets a spot, one spot, and as other people have said, if there's 2 cars in an apartment, that is an additional amount of parking that's going to have to go on the street, or they'll illegally park in Key Bank or somewhere else. So I think the parking is a big issue. That's my opinion.
Anyone else? Yes, sir.
How are you? Kevin McGarvey, Hunt Ave. Concerned with you guys are adding the garage parking as parking spots, correct? As numbers?
Yeah.
I lived there 57 years, nobody parks in it, they just fill it with garbage. So I don't think you should be able to really count those as parking spots. And I also agree with everybody else.
Okay, thank you. Anyone else? Yes, sir.
Hello, my name is Peter Lavin. I live on 114 Hunt Avenue. My wife and children for 27 years. I just want, first of all, I want to thank the board because they pointed out parking, but also you brought up a point about fire trucks. And I just want to point out that in November 2021, the shopping plaza across the street, there was a bad fire and buildings had to collapse. The fire trucks were on Hunt Avenue trying to move around, and I know for a fact that they had to block the traffic, unfortunately, and cars were booking up and down. One car decided to turn around too fast, and the car avoided it and hit my retaining wall, which luckily a friend of mine helped me with only less than $1,000 rebuilding the retaining wall, and that's the traffic, and I want to point out. And also, I'm a CPA. I work in Westchester now. I had to contract with my company to come in at 9:30 because trying to get around the traffic on the top of Hunt Avenue into Middletown Road. I know it's an issue all over, but also, again, I just want to thank you, board, for pointing out about the parking and bringing up the fire engines. Thank you.
Anyone else? Last time, anyone else wish to speak on this? Motion public? Public second? All in favor? One more question I was just thinking about is, I know there's a little bit of concern with the rooftop patio. If you were to go back to what I was talking about, cutting this road off here and here, and making the entrance out, entrance here, you could put a nice patio area in here. And that it still could be controlled, everything else, and it might help a little bit.
We will give we will give
Okay,
consideration.
just look into it, just an idea. I know it's a lot of ideas
We will
that you
give,
guys gotta look into.
we will give consideration of doing away with it.
Yep, yep. Okay, anybody else on board? Andy?
Point out where the parking garages are?
Left side of building 3.
Just east of the proposed building.
Where the site falls off, there's a full foundation.
How many garages are
Six.
there? Six spaces in the back. And I heard the public say that, do you have to pay for those? And are they being used?
Yeah, we use them honestly for our own equipment at the moment because we have enough. We just use it for our own equipment at the moment because we have enough parking to accommodate the tenants. Otherwise, if we didn't, they would be used for parking in specific. But
And
At a cost, if we didn't have enough, we normally include parking with our units, but that would be additional at the moment. But with our business model for this, that would be included with every unit. Like every unit would get an assigned parking spot, and it wouldn't be additional. That's normally how we rent.
So then you really can't include the 6 parking garages because they're not being utilized.
They will be.
They will be.
They will be. I mean,
So then, if you use the 6 in the building, the parking garages, is there some way you're gonna eliminate 6 outside?
They're included in the totals that were submitted.
What's the? 64 outside and then 6 including. Okay, Rick, question for you. With this new building, how many parking spaces do they need? What's the,
What did they say, 68?
what's the zoning on that?
Going from 42 to 68. 22 required spaces.
So you need 22 with the new building?
Correct.
Right. There are some added in the front also.
Yep. But we reconfigured the front just to make it more linear.
These spaces over here are added.
Those are added here.
And there's this whole grouping here is added, these 2 here,
I think that
2 there.
there's an additional about 13 spaces. It's just reconfiguration of the existing parking lots.
How many spots are there now?
Was it 40?
There's 42.
42.
You have 42 spots now, and that counts.
46 in the plan are required.
Yes.
So you have 42 now, but 46 were required for the existing condition. So you're already short.
Right,
parking.
existing non-conforming.
Okay.
But as we're increasing, we're going up to conformance.
So the 6 garages are included into the 42,
Correct.
but they're not being utilized right now.
Part of this plan, they're gonna be used.
That's gonna be included, that'll be included with, as the new parking spaces that you need for the new building.
The owner has to make that determination, probably assign it to 2-bedroom units or something like that, and they get the garages.
What are the dimensions of those garages?
Excuse me.
No. Public
Further
portion is
comment,
closed,
please.
please.
There are existing garage doors on that whole back thing, they're used as their garages.
It's something we've gotta think about.
Lisa, anything?
I mean, on Hunt Avenue, are there any current parking rules or restrictions on that street? Do we know? Winter, that's it?
I only know about the winter restriction. That's the only.
There's no, like, no parking on one side or the
No,
the
the
other?
winter restriction is from November so-and-so to April.
No parking at all.
No parking at all.
But currently, right now, I'm saying you can park on both sides?
Between certain hours.
Even certain hours, yeah. So your statement was, you reconfigure and add these extra spots, you're bringing the parking up to compliance with code as if you were building a new building. Not just for the new building that we're building, but all total,
They're
for
bringing
all
the
the
site
units in
into
the whole site,
compliance.
it will now be in compliance.
The site will be in compliance.
And the owner's gonna have to assign spaces, and it's gonna have to be policed better. And hopefully that'll mitigate street parking.
Mike, which, what are we using, the CC or the MFR?
It's the same, it's in the bulk table notes.
Parking?
Yeah, I'll double check it.
Parking is the MFR, I think.
Right.
That'll comply with the thing. Okay, which one of the site plans shows the fire truck route?
No, we didn't put the fire radius on it.
That's what I was asking for before, and I got it, that we don't do that, it's in the things, it's not in the
No, I
things.
said we did not do the detailed engineering.
I'm asking for a detailed
Absolutely,
plan showing the fire truck making all of those turns.
absolutely.
Because you can't, the plan doesn't make sense without showing it.
I agree with you, absolutely.
To be honest with you, I like the reconfiguration of the site myself, making the west side entrance a one-way and getting, yep, exactly what you're
Just drive right through.
Very much. So we're gonna reconfigure the site more appropriately. We'll put the radiuses on with the fire trucks for you, and we'll probably pick up a few parking spaces as well.
I think you should pick up at least 4, 2 on either side.
Exactly.
Yeah. And when you do the radius for the fire trucks, put the balusters on the corners?
Yep, absolutely. Well, I'll give you a separate plan with the fire truck.
Yeah, that's what
Okay, not a problem.
that's what we're asking for.
Yeah.
You know, this was just concept, so we can get before the board,
Right.
discuss
That's all we
it,
were going
find what you
zoning.
guys
Right.
wanted, and then move
But
forward.
those are the things we want to see. That's a safety concern and a safety issue.
I got a question for Rick Oliver. Rick, Middletown Road, is that a county road or is that Orangetown?
County.
It's county, because I was thinking about a traffic light.
That's why we had those beautiful aisles down there.
Yeah, they really screwed everything up.
Beautiful stuff. Okay, anybody else on the board have any questions?
If you're gonna look at the drive-through as a one-way, I'd make it almost one-way all the way through.
Well,
just-
they come in here and go right around.
Right,
Oh,
right now.
this
it's
would
the
be
same.
two ways.
So I had never been in that back parking lot. I went there right before the meeting and I just pulled straight in, like to this spot right here. And it was like, I had to pull out to an empty spot and do a K-turn to get out. It was a little tight and I don't have a big car. So, this is like really forced in here and I don't think, it's not accounting for, again, I sketched on this a little bit. Like walkways, again, right now it is hatched.
Yeah.
But now you're removing that hatch for someone to get to that walkway. And if you're adding all this parking over here, if these aren't designated for people in this building, they might be walking to the buildings over there. You should maybe think of like a walkway to get to that side.
There is one there.
Was there? I didn't see it.
Not on that side, but there's a walkway.
Oh, yeah, right. But if you're parking here and assigned to this building to get to the front or, so that's again a hatch where you're losing a parking spot. And if it's just gonna, I think, reduce the bulk of the building because I don't think you're gonna be able to have that number of residents and provide parking to support it. Potentially.
Okay.
Okay, so Mr. Brenner, you were asking for a continuation, sir?
Yes, I am.
State it again for us, please. I know you did it once, do it again, please.
I request the board, will you please give us an extension so that we can review the design and come and meet the conformance and answer the questions that were exposed tonight.
Thank you very much. Okay, now what this means is the applicant is taking all the information that we've requested, the town requested, what you guys requested, and they're gonna go through it and come back with a plan that's more desirable for everybody. Now, this does not give them a tacit approval, does nothing, okay? All that this does is allow them to redesign and to come back again, and there will be another public hearing at that time. You folks will be able to express your opinion at that time from hearing the new facts. And as the one gentleman said, he likes the kind of the layout that I had suggested, and it might be more amiable for you folks, and it might work out. Nobody knows one way or the other, but as of right now, no permission is being granted. All they've gotten is a fact-finding mission that they've done, okay? So, thank you very much for coming out, and we'll see you next time you come, okay? Okay. Next application is 22 South Boulevard, site plan review, PB 25-36. Okay, if you folks have any, if you're gonna do any talking, please do it outside the hallway, because we have a whole bunch of business to do here.
They talk too fast, we'll see.
Yeah, and the county has to go on board with that,
That makes sense.
No,
No? The home rule, I guess they can say no.
well, they can write a
Yeah.
masterpiece, but,
Like I said, I didn't prepare both. I'll call you and we'll discuss it.
this was never an issue up until now. So. It's a nice Lincoln Town car.
Yeah, it was.
It was nice, yes. Emphasis on the was, but, yeah, that's not an issue.
All right, Mr. Brenner, what can I do you for? This is on 22 South Boulevard.
Okay.
228.
We, just again, a little history on this. This was an approved subdivision in the village of South Nyack. All the utilities were put in, the road base, the water system, the gas system, the drainage system, all were installed and approved by South Nyack. When the town took it over, even at the hearing that we had with the Project Review Committee, Superintendent Dean said very specifically that road pattern is a road pattern that is required by the town of Orangetown, and which has to do. What is missing on the road pattern right now is the final capping. We had presented 4 units at the last meeting, and there was a question about GML approval. We are still coming back with the same 4 units. The 4 units were not approved at that time because drainage approval, or not drainage approval, but, yeah, they wanted
The drainage
drainage
consultant.
approval consultant to approve what was done. I again want to review one more thing. South Nyack wanted this to go back to Akabor only. When it came to the town of Orangetown, South Nyack only had one board. Their planning board acted as their Akabor board. The town then took the position that you have to come, you gentlemen, and get approval for this project. We are here really to get to Akabor because we want to develop right now the 4 lots that are in question. The engineers did go back, and the engineer will tell you, we've got a lot of data that you were interested in, but it really has very little to do with the 4 applications we have. We want to go ahead on the 4 applications, but we do have a lot of information for you, which you asked for. That information ultimately will go on to a final drawing, which is needed, okay? Right now, we are basically looking to proceed with the 4 units. Once the 4 units are taken care of, we will then try to get some more units to be taken care of. But please understand, all of the infrastructure on this job has been installed and approved. If you want to add anything to it, please do.
The water, sewer, and drainage are currently servicing Willow and Baracha. South is an existing road. The sewer system that was installed also was put in to benefit several lots that are not part of the subdivision, that were existing lots. That's installed. The water system, Nyack Water had called me about it. They thought there was an issue with the hydrant. They've accepted, they've been billing the people in the Willow for the water system. The Department of Health has approved them. We brought out an arborist and a landscape architect, and I don't know if you, but it seems that people wanting to maybe increase the view have topped the trees to the point where they're not, salvageable. There's also, just so you have it, there's pictures of the existing utilities in the road. We've done an as-built to the road, the as-built to the facilities. Everything's in there, everything's functioning. Once again, there are existing houses tied into all those facilities.
Can you bring the mic for
sure.
you, sorry?
There are existing houses currently being serviced by all of these facilities. Everything's existing. The gas lines are in, just as Donald had stated. So that's pretty much it, you know. The drainage consultant had no comment on the application.
Drainage consultant gave approval.
No, he approved it. He had no comment and approved it. Approved all 4 lots.
One of my concerns, because one thing that really stuck out in my head was on lot 228, where I think the builder was here at the time, first time you came, and he kind of threw his hands up in the air, he said, I don't understand this, they put a culvert across the road, and I don't know what's going on with it. Okay, so, I asked Rick Oliver to research that a little bit more, and the original South Nyack final subdivision map has that culvert on it, as the town's putting it in, and that the owner of the lot 228 shall pick it up on the other side of it with a swale culvert and direct it down to a spreader.
Level spread, yeah.
Okay. That was never brought up. When he came, he knew nothing about it. I don't know who put the pipe in, I don't know, that's why it brought up so many questions. And it's going on to the other lot, that south one, which is 214, you got a sailboat sitting on it. You had vegetation was 6 foot tall. You go to visit, you couldn't see the darn thing, so you didn't know what was there. Was it a hole? Were the plants 20 feet tall, or were they 2 foot tall? Nobody knew anything. So it was extremely hard for us to kind of figure out what the heck was going on those two lots. And those two caught my attention specifically, and it kind of rang a bell. So I've been looking through Rick Oliver's help and looking at the old final subdivision plat from South Nyack, and I see all these things now that the owner of these lots has to do. And, which, you know, all these things are on the maps, and, you're kind of not bringing that back to us. You're saying you're gonna do it, but you're not gonna show us how you're gonna do it. So it's, I don't know what, you know, I don't know what we're doing. I'm kind of stymied, if you know what I mean. There's a lot of things we're missing.
Well, again, what was required, everything was approved in this subdivision. Everything was approved. What was required was to go back because they wanted to build the houses. What was required is that they get approval from Akabor as to what they were gonna do with the lots, because these lots are strange lots.
Yes.
You know, they're strange and they're bare, and
Can I, just, I don't wanna interrupt you, can I make a suggestion to you?
absolutely, I'm
On
gonna,
the lower section, where you have the unfinished road,
yes.
Why
Where
not-
we have an unfinished road, we have a road that doesn't have topping. We
Correct.
have- Right,
correct,
right.
okay?
Of which the
Those-
builder is required to do.
Correct, no, I understand that, I
Right.
understand that. Why not develop those lots first, instead of these? This like 228, this seems, it's on the side of a hill, it seems like it's gonna be a real problematic lot.
No, you never do the low ones first, you do the higher ones first.
Yeah, but you,
No, you do the low because then, as the high ones do it, then we get the drainage from the higher ones and put the
you
improvements in
can't,
the low
because you have
ones.
the high ones, you have a set of existing homes. So how are you gonna get the drainage through that?
Well, the drainage was already figured with the original subdivision. That pipe was probably in a long time, looking at the age, it's old corrugated metal pipe, so it probably goes back quite some time off of South. I called out a swale to go down originally, that Bruce didn't, I guess he didn't understand the swale, why, the need for it, but of course, we'll put in a swale, we'll put in a level spreader, that's not a problem. One thing you're gonna have to look at is the conservation easements for the lots on Willow have been obliterated.
Right.
Because if you look at the pictures, you'll see a manhole that's sticking out of the ground. You can see the frame and cover very clearly, so whoever went back there, they leveled that area, so, you know, there's some, you know, but of course, we will do exactly what's shown. It'll come back to you with everything that's required per the original subdivision approval with those lots. The drainage consultant looked at it, he didn't make comment about that, the pipe that you're talking about, the swale or anything like that. That didn't even come up in his comments.
Right.
So, you know, he must be comfortable to some degree with what was proposed.
Well, we have to do it.
We
It
have
has
to
to
do
be
it, there's
done.
no question.
My question is on 228, is you have that rip-red swale that goes down the side to a spreader. Now, the spreader's gonna spread the water out. Where's that water gonna go down?
Well, was it,
Because there's an existing house right behind it.
well, that was developed during the original subdivision, that's why they put in
I
a level
understand
spreader.
that,
To take
but-
that concentrated flow and spread it out into what would be called sheet flow. So that's their answer, that was the answer for the original subdivision, is to take that and make it into sheet flow again from concentrated channelized flow.
You see, I don't know how you're gonna do that and refrain from putting any water on the person's property behind you, which is an existing home.
Like I said, when they did the original subdivision, the water was always headed, before the subdivision even, because the pipe is existing, that water always headed in that direction.
No, but it just went through barren land, so it just
Well,
went,
once,
nobody
it
really
would've
cared.
went, like I said, if the conservation easements were maintained, they would go through forested area before they went back down into the natural drainage path. But the conservation easements being obliterated have made it that from that point on the property line, there's nothing I can do. When they did the original subdivision, if they had called it a drainage and sanitary sewer easement, we could have piped this down to Willow. They didn't, I don't know why, but that wasn't done. That would have been probably the easiest way to address this whole issue. But now, since the property's still owned by the property owner, the easement is just the right to put the facility within it. So at that point, there's really nothing that we can do.
Well, let me go through the consultant reports, and I'm still extremely concerned with that. Okay, Office of Building, Zoning, and Planning, Rick Oliver, December 10th. He has a total of
Which
11
one are we doing,
Yes, sir.
228? Which, we're doing 228, okay,
Yeah,
good.
228.
Okay.
Okay, that was Rick Oliver, December 10th, with 11 comments. Bureau of Fire Prevention, January 5th, they have 2 comments. Let me see what else. That's got that. Okay, I have letters from Jerry Dewitt dated July 18th, 2025. He's on Mountain View, pertaining to the lot. This is all on 228. Still, well, that whole letter's, goes to some of the other lots. I have, a letter from Donald Brenner dated, November 25th, 225. I have a letter from Michael Solis dated October 29th, 2025, which is kind of a narrative. I have a letter, November 3rd, from Weston Sampson. Okay, and it says, in our opinion, it is our opinion that increases in stormwater runoff can be successfully mitigated for this project. We therefore recommend that 228 South Boulevard be approved for drainage, subject to the above project comments, of which there are 1. I have another letter from Wilson Sampson, July 30th. At that time, he says, no supporting information was provided to demonstrate mitigation of potential significant adverse impact as a result of increased stormwater runoff. We therefore recommend that 228 South Boulevard not be approved for drainage at this time, and there were 13 comments.
That was a prior letter.
The prior letter.
Yeah, okay.
And this is all from South Nyack. Audrey, anything else?
That's it.
Okay, thank you very much. Okay, Andy, questions or comments?
Can I ask a dumb question?
This is just on 228.
On this job, absolutely.
I want to know, what are you guys looking for?
We're looking to build 4 houses.
No, I understand.
All right.
What are you looking for from us? What are you?
We're looking for approval to go to Akabor, because we want to get a building permit for the 4 lots as stage 1. Then we have to come back and do the other lots. There are many,
All right, if you go to Akabor, you're gonna come back here.
yes.
But what is that, what is it, what are you looking for from Akabor? I mean, Akabor is architectural community board of review. What,
Well, we're gonna look for at least an approval from them for the building.
Of the
for
house.
colors, the textures, the house. And also, we'll look at the landscaping.
but that usually comes after planning board, doesn't it? You get the site plan approved and everything like that, then you go to Akabor. Why do you wanna go to Akabor before planning board?
Because that's what South Nyack demanded.
We're not in South Nyack anymore.
Well, we can't turn around and say you don't have an approval when we had an approval. Legally, we have an approval, all the installations are in, everything is in, and we really want to build the houses and finish the job. That's really what we want to do, is finish the job.
Mr. Andrews, if I can address that. I mean, I'm not disagreeing with what Mr. Brunner is saying, but technically, this is here because we're now in Orangetown, not South Nyack, and according to the Town of Orangetown code, this is a critical environmental area, and in critical environmental areas, you need to submit a site plan. So this is here for site plan approval.
From Akabor. Wow, all right.
And maybe that's what this subdivision said, I don't know, but it's also here because it needs site plan approval because it's a critical environmental area, so that's why it's here. If it needs to go to Akabor, so be it, but it's here for.
So
So,
basically, all he's gotta do is bring over South Nyack's approved site plan and show it to us, and we kinda have a fast
there's an
approval.
approved subdivision plan, there's no approved site plan.
Each lot had
This
to
is-
go back on its own in South Nyack.
So I
Because of
think
the
this
critical
board should treat it
environmental,
as a
like-
site plan incident to a
Like
critical
these
environmental
houses-
area.
Excuse me, I'm sorry. These houses are all gonna have their own sprinkler system.
Right.
Because Nyack Water, maybe they can't get the water system, whatever it is. These houses, well, somebody did things on it that were improper. These are gonna say how you're gonna build a house. How you gonna build a house on this crazy lot configuration? We have to show how the house is gonna be built, and some kind of landscaping.
But,
Then
but,
should you have come back to us with a site plan?
yeah, I mean, the site plan.
Ultimately, we'll have to give you a final site plan because we gotta finish the job. This job must be, when all the lots are developed, the road gets capped, we must come back and give you an as-built showing that everything has been done.
But now, are you gonna come back, like, right now, you're looking at 4 lots, you're gonna come back to us now with those 4 lots with a site plan? Or are you gonna wait until you're done?
I'm gonna take the 4 lots and go to Akabor and say, this is what we want to do. If Akabor gives us the approval, we would then like to go and get a building permit, but if you want us to come back to you, we'll come back to you, but we just wanna get it moving.
I'd like to have them come back to us, just give site plan approval.
We don't have a problem with that. We don't, I just wanna get there.
We can address all of your comments as well as Akabor's comments, put everything on one drawing set for you, and then simply bring it in for you guys to hopefully final comment and then approve. That shouldn't be a problem.
I think that would satisfy you too.
No, I got a problem with that.
Total of 13 lots.
Excuse me.
Yeah,
Oh, sorry.
I'm sorry.
I have a problem with that. Because I mean, you come here before us before you go to zoning.
We're not.
I'm just
we're not
giving,
going to zoning.
I know, I just given examples. When you come to the planning board, you come to the planning board, if you have to go to zoning, you come to us first, and then you go to the zoning. If we approve the site plan for you to go to Akabor, I mean, this is how it's been for as long as I've been here.
It's my suggestion, that's how we go about it. This
Well,
is a
that's-
site plan.
that's what I'm getting
so
at.
that's
But
what
in
we-
this situation, we're coming back approval per lot.
So-
Not overall picture, but per lot.
Okay, let me ask you this.
Yeah.
What is your objection of showing us your site plan before you go to Akabor?
If I can answer that, the Akabor may change a little bit.
Well, then that's a chance, that's,
Yeah, this
We can
board has
override
priority over
Akabor.
Akabor. This board has priority over Akabor.
Yeah.
For the things this board
that's what I'm
looks at.
saying. So,
approve site plan.
I'm not gonna
At least-
approve a site plan when they go to Akabor and Akabor says the site plan is good.
Mr. Brenner, I would suggest we do it the way we always do. We're in Orangetown, we're following Orangetown rules now, and if it needs to go to Akabor, we need site plan approval first.
Okay, you're asking the owner to surrender a right, which he has a legitimate right of an approved subdivision. He's got a right.
if
And you
I
have-
could say-
you have- Wait a minute, please, let me, all right? And you have imposed something on him which is improper, but nobody wants to go to court on that. You are imposing something on him because the only thing that we're supposed to do was to approve per lot and get the job finished.
How long ago did you get subdivision approval on this? How many decades ago?
I don't wanna get
Things have
involved with
changed,
that
and
with
if South Nyack never devolved into Orangetown, you would be right. You are now in Orangetown. This is a critical
Right, and
environmental
our-
area. You need to submit a site plan, and it needs to be approved by this board. That's my legal determination. If you want to appeal or sue, go
I
ahead.
don't wanna appeal, I just wanna get the job moving. I really don't wanna get appeal.
And
You-
so does this board.
No,
Let's
you
do
want me-
things
you
the
want me to do
appropriate way.
You want me to do all the lots at one time? That's, and we don't
You
wanna
don't
do
have to
all.
do that if you don't want to.
What?
Site plan approval expires.
You have a site plan approval, come in with the 4 lots. You're looking for of the site plan, total site plan, you're concerned with 4 lots. Bring in a site plan for those 4 lots, individual lots. And at that
Can we do a
time,
site plan for the 4 lot?
Well, they're spread out, they're a little far, but you do individual plot plans for them, right?
If that's what they want?
Yeah.
I don't know. You want an individual site plan per lot, which is what we're gonna take to Akabor?
right,
Presenting us to us as 4 lots. Bring a site
Well, no,
plan
we're
for each lot.
presenting, each independent, it's being presented as each independent separate. Each one has its own application.
right.
Right,
Yeah.
so each one should have
Come in
their
with a
own
site plan for each lot, so we can see what the site plan is. Because like I said, I have a lot of concerns how you're gonna handle certain things, and I know some of the residents gonna have concerns on how you're gonna handle certain things. And then with those 4 lots, then you, they're approved, then you can go to Akabor with them.
Gotta tell me what you're gonna do. I don't know, the engineering, I know.
Well, the engineering's pretty straightforward. Like I said, the drainage consultant didn't have the concerns about that swale, right?
The energy consultant said if he do A, B, C, and D, he doesn't have a problem, because we can meet it. Right. But the board wants to see, what are you gonna do?
I mean, like I said, they're individual plot plans, right, Donald?
Yes,
So,
we'll give you individual plot plans.
Yeah.
well, the only question I would ask myself is can we try to do it in parallel, at least put application into Akabor, and if we don't get planning board approval prior, we will just withdraw the application. Can you run the 2 approvals in parallel?
Yeah, that was going to say that. This board can waive Akabor, and then you meet your Akabor requirement with this board. Again, the danger, if you go to Akabor
Wait,
before you
you're
have
gonna-
site plan
You're
approval,
gonna waive Akabor, you're gonna look what kind of house you're gonna build and what kind of.
No, I understand.
Can I ask you a question? Rick, when you're talking about, site plan, you want site plan for each individual house, you want the whole?
yeah, that's what the site plan is, yeah, for each house, yeah. And that's how we do it. If in a critical environmental area, you submit a site plan. This is complicated because you had prior South Nyack involvement.
So Tom, I have no further questions.
I don't have any further questions.
I'm trying to resolve this, let me tell you why I'm trying to resolve this. We're gonna come in with a site plan, all right? Individual,
Yeah.
which I think is gonna violate your zoning code. Even though it's,
I don't know the legality.
How's that gonna violate the zoning
because
code?
these are small crazy lots, and you're not gonna have the proper side, what code are you gonna use in terms of side yard, rear yard, things like that? This is.
Well, then you might have to go to zoning board.
All the bulk is on one of the approved plans. It's all the bulk has already been set.
I think that has been resolved by South Nyack, so I don't know that that's going to be problematic. It's actually a site plan, like for critical environmental area.
Day one, you had said this is gonna be a rough one.
You better believe it. I told the guy not to buy it.
No, I don't have any questions, no.
Okay, I got a couple. We were
I said-
talking about what you want to build on, the lot 228, all right?
Yeah.
Are we dealing with the original 2005 plans that show how the site plan, this house should be sited on the lot? Or are we going to the newer plans where we changed the design of the house from the original
South Nyack plan.
Well, I believe what they tried to do is go to Akabor probably once, so they did a overall grading and house siting plan.
They showed the dimensions of the house.
Yeah, they had very generic houses put on there.
I know.
So,
But when they go into them, they talk about their thing from September of '09, where they give the approval for the grading and house location plan. And that's what it was. They talk about driveway location and grade, garage location, house location is shown on the submitted plans, finished floor elevation for the first floor and the basement of the house. So they're talking about that, is depicted in the grading and housing location plan. That was the one that was approved by South Nyack, I think, originally.
I think the 2005 was approved, and the developer, I believe, in my mind, changed, and that's why you got the 2009.
He changed it, but did he get approval from South Nyack?
That I can't tell you, there's no place I can look that up. So I
Is there
can't
one
tell you
we
that
can
that
find out?
grading and house siting plan, I can't tell you that that was ever approved, because there's a lot of stuff that you got minutes on, but it was never approved.
Can we find out if anything from 2009 for this was approved?
I didn't hear you.
Can we find out if anything from 2009 on these lots was approved? Okay.
Well, that's a good reason why it would be better for you to come in with a site plan to us first on all 4 lots. Because nobody seems to know what South Nyack did. It was decades ago. And if we just, I mean, if you started this from the beginning, you would have been done already.
You would have never approved this.
Well.
Never, never, never. Please, whoever got this done, better engineer than me. Okay, what wants, would ask for continuation and give them a site plan
Well,
for each
yeah,
lot?
that's-
That's all, if that's what you want.
Well, we'll address the comments that we've received. Like I said, the drainage, the only lot that gets tricky with drainage is 228, but once again, on that grading plan that you're referencing, they show nothing to be done with that property line. So,
It showed the easements too.
oh no, the easements on the
And
original plans were
conservation.
shown.
And the conservation.
On the plans, they were originally shown, because we've submitted plot plans, those were the first 4 sets
Okay,
of
now,
drawings you
we
got.
submitted the new plans that would show the,
The meets and bounds?
Conservation?
No, they were on there. They were on the plan, the conservation easements, sewer easements, and all that.
Wait, can
Well,
I?
I'm gonna go down the board
Yeah.
and see if we get any additional comments, and I'm gonna open it to public. This way, Mr. Brenner knows if there's any, I don't wanna spring anything new on him if we don't have to. Let's get, one way or the other.
You heard that.
He doesn't want it, he still can. All right, my only comment, sorry, Mike, are you
Okay,
done?
let's go down the line.
I'm
Andy?
done, I'm done.
Okay. Lisa, you got, Mike, anything else?
Let me make a check, I don't think so.
And thank you for these, photos.
This is, yeah, the landscaping plan, just some of the building department comments on there. Further.
Lisa, anything?
So my question is, your Weston Sampson email or letter is talking about the drainage design presumes, that a bunch of these lots, 1, 2, 6, 8, up to 16, will not exceed 4,000 and doesn't need any drainage. But like, that means nothing to me. You have to tell me either what the address, 228 is lot X, or, kind of reference them back to each other, because I don't know what you're talking about, of which one's the problems and which ones aren't.
That's straight off the approved subdivision plans, they reference lots, they
Right,
don't
but it
reference
wasn't in
address.
the letter that we got here, so, and I don't keep my drawings like Mike does, so I don't know what it's talking about.
Well, every lot but 2 lots in the cul-de-sac of Baracha require, is fine. They've been incorporated into the detention basin at the bottom of the hill. 2 lots on the cul-de-sac of Baracha that are down gradient from there can't get into so they'll require infiltration testing or whatever. And I believe they're lots 16 or 17, I don't remember it off the top of my head. But to reference the lots that were approved, that's not a problem.
Okay, that was my confusion.
Only question I have is about
want to say the original subdivision, just, once again, was 22 or 26.
Okay, and why these four were selected then?
No, some were developed, he bought 13.
No, no, out of that, he bought 13, the 13.
13
remains.
left.
13 are undeveloped right now.
Right.
Correct. And why these four were selected?
That's what the owner wanted.
Just, and no rhyme or reason?
Because
Well, they were
they were really the highest, and that's the way to do it.
Got it.
You know, it's really the way to do it.
Highest elevation of the 13.
Right. And two are on a main road right now.
Are they further or closer to neighboring houses?
Two of them have nobody around them. Houses in the subdivision off of it, and then the two on the top of the hill have the houses that were developed on Willow Court. Willow Court, there's 2 lots left to be developed, the 2 lots on South, and then the remaining 9 lots are down on the cul-de-sac of Baracha, which nothing's been developed on, except for the improvements to the public facilities, the curbs, and so forth.
Okay, Matt?
We agree with you.
John, your position is that time of the approval, the South Nyack instruction to return to planning board, if it had been Orangetown at the time, would have just.
Because they were a joint board.
Joint board. So our position is, because nothing had been finalized,
You wanted us to start all over again.
because it's a critical environmental area.
Yeah, I don't want you to start all over again. I just want you to follow the Town of Orangetown Town Code, which requires site plan review for critical environmental area. Mr. Brenner, I agree with you. A lot of things are locked in. They can't be changed. You just need to file individual site plans for each of these areas and follow the existing town code. If 30 years ago you had gone back to South Nyack, we wouldn't be here, but you didn't. It waited 30 years, so now you have to follow the Town of Orangetown rules, and that's what we require.
Well, that's what you're asking
The
for.
application had been finalized, in the intervening time period, there's a new requirement of critical environmental area.
Okay, Bruce, anything?
Can I just,
Oh, yeah, go ahead, I'm sorry, I thought you were done.
how many of these weird South Nyack?
Well, we don't know, let's deal with these 4 right now, and then we'll worry about it down the road. Tomorrow's tomorrow.
You're gonna wind up, on this one, you're gonna wind up with 13. You got it?
But it's gonna take a while. Okay, Bruce, anything? Okay, thank you.
What time do you have to be here? I mean, if we had done this the second time, coming with a site plan, we would have been out of here. Since the first meeting.
All right, thank you, okay. Motion to open up to the public?
Motion to open public portion.
Second. All in favor? Aye, opposed, none. Okay, anybody from the public wish to speak on this? Okay, everybody got 3 minutes, we know, and if the person in front of you has the same thing,
Please sign in, please.
please. All right.
Here comes the bullshit.
When you get up to the microphone, because this way it's recorded, so we'll get that.
Kathy Gallione, 234 South Boulevard. So I'm speaking on behalf of the 228 parcel. There's some discrepancies here. I can hear that you pick up on them, and I pick up on them as well. First of all, I'm not really understanding the high to low theory, because if the high to low theory, like developing high up instead of low down, then we would have been developed first. 228 is an odd lot. The 4 pieces of land are odd lots. But they are, and as my neighbors will probably say also, the erosion, the stormwater runoff, they're supposed to fill in that back lot, which is only going to exacerbate erosion issues and stormwater issues as it stands. If stormwater and runoff wasn't going to be an issue, then they would kind of keep the house a little lower and kind of develop down into it rather than fill it up as it is. So I don't think in another sense, I don't think the infrastructure's there. The infrastructure's for the low-down houses. It's not for the houses that are proposed for 219 and 228. So all the infrastructure's not there. According to me, I'm not a planner, I'm not an engineer, but I'm just somebody who stares at that lot day in and day out. So I'm concerned that those needs aren't going to be met. I'm also concerned about the road widening that's proposed. It's, kind of set in front of 228. I'm at 234, that's right next door, but it just kind of sets right in front of 228, and to the layperson reading that plan, you can't tell whether you're leading up to that. If the road widens a little before that, which kind of common sense would tell you it would, that I would probably have road on or near my front door. So I'm just concerned about that. So some of these things are going to come out as questions, which I know you can't answer, but I'm just going to put them out there because I can't kind of unjeopardy them, if you know what I mean. So I also, in future iterations, as the site plans are hopefully developed, if they can be developed in a way that the layperson can understand, can they be, or will there be different types of renderings so that we don't have to kind of read plans, site plans that are made for engineers and not neighbors that are concerned. Is SECR going to be involved in this process because it is a critical environmental? Again, you don't have to answer that, just kind of talking out loud. And let's see, I'm just making sure that I catch all my questions. And I'm also concerned a little bit because the original developer in South Nyack, I don't think it's the same developer now, so I don't know if that creates any kind of, interruption in the procedural processes. So I just wanted to kind of conclude by saying I'm really concerned about 228 being completely filled, and I think it's going to exacerbate all the drainage and erosion issues that are already there. So it is a critical environmental area. I'm glad that you're attending to that, and I hope that you kind of keep that same keen attention on it. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else? Yes? Sign in and then state your name and address for the record, please.
Declan Zimmerman. I live at 226 South Boulevard with my wife Mandy, who's here also. So it's the lot on the other side of 228. Kathy, who just spoke, is the lot immediately to the south. I'll just duck so you can hear me. First of all, I want to thank you very much for your concern and on staying on the drainage issues. So I won't reiterate the things that you've already expressed, but I would like to add that when they built the houses on Willow Court, that wasn't properly addressed because that water does not get absorbed in. It runs down. Our neighbor, I don't think is here tonight, Abe, down the hill on Willow Court. I could get the address. He kind of built a stream to try to deal with the water flow, and he was like, is somebody emptying a pipe? There's water running across my property. I think they had to put a French drain in behind their house. Pardon? Yeah, bless you. So I just want to say that, like, whatever plans were originally made and whatever was supposed to be done, when those houses on Willow Court were developed, I don't think that, again, I'm a layman, but it doesn't seem like those things were properly addressed because there are still runoff issues into those houses below that the owners have conveyed to me. Similarly, if that is elevated, we're on the property right next door that is currently kind of a trough where water runs down, and if it's boosted up and driveways are there, I think that water is probably going to be running onto our property. So I definitely appreciate your staying on that issue and getting that, making sure that's going to be taken care of. Also, my last comment, when gentleman in the glasses, Matthew, when you asked them about adjacent houses, he responded with the houses they were developing. We are, of course, on either side of the lot, what goes on South Boulevard. Both these lots, 228 and 214, are on either side of our property, so we're very much affected by what's built there and how. Thank you for your listening.
Anyone else? Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. I'm sorry. I didn't see you real quick.
My name is Sharon Bailey. I live at 225 South Boulevard. I just wanted to say that that particular area in front of 228 is probably one of the narrowest places on South Boulevard. The other thing I want to say is that in the 80s, the developers agreed that there would be no driveways coming out onto South Boulevard. I don't know what happened to that agreement, but the driveways were all supposed to go downhill. I wrecked the microphone.
Thank you. Okay. Yes, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Address for the record, please.
George Gallione, 234 South Boulevard, South Nyack. I just want to say, if you want an expert on the drainage, I've been there 50 years looking at my kitchen window at the lot that's proposed next door to me. And I want to say the drainage is a brook on the serious rainstorms going down the hill to River Ridge Estates. Some of the neighbors are getting water down there. Now, in prior meetings here, I think they were supposed to address a drainage system coming off the mountain. And I don't know whether that was ever approached or not, but there's a broken pipe in the middle of the road that freezes in the winter and is slippery. That's never been addressed. I just want to say that there's no sidewalks. The road is thin, not to be redundant, and it's very dangerous. There's hidden driveways. I've been there 50 years, and that lot has been not addressed. And 50 years before that, it was empty too. But the developers now, it's like they're trying to get a round peg in a square hole. They're buying everything and just trying to put something on it, no matter what the problems are. And it's just tragic they haven't addressed the road at all. And if any of you are familiar with it, the road now is the Orangetown police cars come over the Nyack and emergencies, also fire engines. The road is tragic, and I just wanted to know that if you ever do give approval and something goes wrong, it's out of your hands now and in some big conglomerates that don't answer the phone, so that we can't get our situation fixed. So that's why it's very important to come here and get your people's credibility. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Anyone else? Last time, anyone else to speak on this? Okay, motion to close public? Motion to close public portion. Second?
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Opposed? None, okay.
Okay, we have some problems, okay? Remember, this is an existing acceptable road. My developer had nothing to do with it.
I agree with you.
Okay? And these so-called abutting people obliterated what was there. Show them.
Well, if you look, this is the backyard. See that sanitary manhole? That would be by lot number 2, the rectangular lot off of South. Adjacent to that is a conservation easement. The conservation easements were put in to maintain, in areas of steep slopes and maintain the existing drainage features. So when they were obliterated and people put in backyards, that created part of this situation.
Not the developer, these people did it.
Well, this is all
This
existing.
is why I want you to come back with site plans that we'll look at, and if there's issue with the road, then that's gonna be the town's problem.
Yeah.
The pipe that they're talking about across the road, that's
That's
owned by
been
the
there for a long
municipality.
time.
Yeah.
It's not even on the property, it's within the right-of-way that South Nyack
So,
gratefully gave to Orangetown.
yeah.
The easement that was brought up before, that's not a widening of the road there, that's an easement that was requested by South Nyack in case they ever want to do anything with the road. It's not a dedication, it's merely an easement. There are no driveways that I can remember that are across from either of these lots, especially Lot 2. I know that there's no driveways across.
I know there's one in there, I'm not sure if it's across from which one. But I'm not too sure there. But, so you see where we are, so,
Well, that's on this one. Could we please do the others? Because we don't, we're gonna do exactly what you want, but I wanna, like, we've heard testimony is related to what they're talking about, all right? We will answer those questions, because they're not really the responsibility of what we're gonna give you. The responsibility we're gonna give you is what we're doing with that one lot and how we're gonna handle that lot to meet critical environmental and ACABOR.
So you wanna go through the consultant's reports on the other three
I
lots?
think we have to,
Okay.
because or we'll be coming back continuously.
Yep.
You got anything, any other
No,
questions?
no, I'm just
Okay.
thinking the consultant reports, there were really no, in my memory, there were really no big comments on the consultants. I know Bruce didn't really make any comments on the drainage. I know that the drainage was handled by Weston and Sampson. On lot number one, 228, it's my understanding that that water that's coming down the hill is owned by the municipality and not by the applicant. The pipe that crosses the road that runs down between those two lots that the applicant has has not generated. So all that drainage that probably the principal amount of drainage, because there's nothing improved there at this time on either lot. The only thing that was done on those lots is somebody came in, they topped all the trees, took away the vegetation, and the conservation easements along Willow on the, pardon me, but the west side of Willow's lots. Those lots were the conservation easements that were probably meant to handle this stormwater flow, were obliterated. None of this really has anything to do with the applicant, and to be quite frank, we can try to address some of these drainage concerns, but they were not created by us.
Let me go through the consultant's reports on the other
Please,
three
which one we
lots,
doing now?
and then we'll go from there. The Office of Building and Zoning.
Which
Rick
lot?
Oliver, December 10th.
No, which one are we?
This is 14.
South, 214 South.
South
Okay.
214. His December 10th letter has 8 comments. I have a letter from Office of Building, Zoning, and Planning, Rick Oliver, July 23rd. At that time, he has 10 comments. I have a letter from the Department of Environmental Management and Engineering, July 11th. Bruce Peters, he has 11 comments. I have a letter from Bureau of Fire Prevention, Town of Orangetown, July 8th. They have 1 comment. I have a letter from Bureau of Fire Prevention, Town of Orangetown, January 5th, 2026, 1 comment. I have a letter from Weston Sampson, dated June 30th, 2025. No supporting information was provided to demonstrate mitigation of potential significant adverse impact as a result of increased stormwater runoff. We therefore recommend that
That's an old letter,
228, he made a mistake here, but it says 228 not be approved. I think
but that's an
the
old,
letter is for 214.
right, but that's an old letter. There's a new one that we approved.
June 30th, I just wanted to get it in, so I think
Okay.
that's a clerical error. And I believe he said at that time it should have been 214.
Right.
It was not approved. I have a letter from Roman Professional, July 8th, 2025. Okay, I have a letter from Rockland County Department of Planning, June 26th. One note. I have a letter from Rockland County Sewer District Number 1, July 22nd. They have 2 comments. I have a letter from Alfred Gaddy, July 10th. Based on the map provided, ONR has a service stub at an adjacent area that may be in conflict with proposed work. Okay, I have a narrative, June 28th, no, take it back. It doesn't have a date, it was received May 30th, 2025. I have a short EAF, May 30th, and it's dated May 28th, 2025. And I have a letter from Don Brenner dated November 25th, 2025. I have another letter from Michael Solis dated October 29th, 2025, which is the narrative. I have a letter from Weston Sampson, November 4th, 2025. In our opinion, that increases the stormwater runoff can be successfully mitigated, again, F-O-R-T, this project. We therefore recommend that 2014 South Boulevard be approved for drainage subject to the above project comments, which there are one. I have a letter, I think I may have read it in, but I'll put it in again. Weston Sampson, June 30th. And it just, all it says that it was not approved. Okay, Audrey, anything else? Okay, thank you very much. Annie, any questions on 2014?
What's the approval you want here?
Well, you're looking for a site plan, right? Okay, we agree. We just want to know what we're going to put on the site plan, that's all. We're going to go along and give you a site plan. We just want to know what more you want. Just like we did on the other one. Anybody in the audience wants to say anything about it, let's get it out.
I just want to get the consultants' reports in, instead of just doing a passage,
So, yeah,
so I'm doing it individually.
just want to make sure everybody's on board with that.
Correct. Okay, you have any more questions or comments on this? Okay. Lisa, questions?
No,
Mike?
This is the same one they asked the
Okay.
last meeting
Denise?
regarding.
Anything?
No, she
Oh,
was.
I'm sorry.
We're going to identify.
No, you wanted to know what we want on the plan?
Yes.
Yeah, same thing.
Okay, you want the landscape plan, what trees you're taking down, what trees you're leaving?
We know what you want. I just want to know what the audience wants.
Yes,
Okay,
but I want to do the board first,
all right, just want to make sure you didn't get done.
okay?
You got to guarantee your no.
Now I'm going to Denise. Matt number one, Matt number two.
I'm good.
Bruce, same? Okay. We're gonna open up to the public.
Motion to open public portion.
Second?
Second.
All in favor? Aye, opposed. This is on lot 214. Yes, ma'am.
Do I need to sign it again?
No, you're all right. Just state your name in the record.
Sharon Bailey, 225 South Boulevard.
I apologize, did you guys open to the public?
Yes, we did.
Mandel and,
Man, I think Denise. Okay, yes, ma'am.
Sharon Bailey, 225 South Boulevard. I'm directly across the street on the west side of South Boulevard from 214.
Breaking my stuff, you know?
I'm sorry. All right, South Boulevard is extremely heavily traveled. The proposed driveway at,
Excuse me, just a second. Is this the same letter?
nope,
Oh, okay, go ahead.
I didn't read a letter the first time.
Okay, I'm sorry.
The proposed driveway at 214 has no sight line in either direction to see oncoming traffic. The condition of approval for the originally proposed project in the 80s was that no driveways would exit onto South Boulevard. We need a legitimate traffic study before you even consider approving this project. In 2005, the developers came up with a scheme to set aside a conservation area at the north of the property, and since it contains only invasive trees, this is the logical place to put a driveway so it exits through the so-called conservation zone down to Willow Court. Up until the early 2000s, the only area where you could possibly park on 214 was about 400 square feet at the extreme southern end, and the rest of the 214 frontage on South Boulevard was an extreme drop-off at the edge of the road, a car width wide. The entire footprint of the proposed house is placed on haphazardly filled-in material. In the early 2010s, the site was used as a staging area for any repairs being done on the mountain, and by contractors who were illegally dumping construction debris from houses being demolished to facilitate new construction in the area. This dumped material was primarily from houses built during the period when asbestos was commonly used as insulation in foundational materials. For this reason, New York State considers such debris as hazardous waste, which must be disposed of at hazardous waste sites. To avoid this expense, builders chose to dump repeatedly on this site. The village was aware of this and had numerous well-documented complaints, but did nothing. A substantial part of the filled-in area is made up of such material. If you look at the terrain maps and compare it to the terrain map in the 70s, you will see what I am talking about. In fact, if you simply walk to the northern end of 214, you will see pieces of construction debris sticking out of the ground. A full-scale remediation which recognizes that this is a toxic site must be done before any permits are issued. We all need to be assured that this hazardous waste will be removed properly. We don't want to see a situation where it's done in August and it hasn't rained in 4 weeks and clouds of dust laden with asbestos drift all through our neighborhood. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Andy, could you do me a favor? Could you fix that one quick?
Sorry.
That's okay. I thought you were gonna do karaoke or something.
Not even a dance.
Okay, anybody else wish to speak on 214?
Declan Zimmerman, 226 South Boulevard. I'll keep it brief, I know it's late. Wait, what was I going to say? I'm just going to second what Sharon said. Construction debris turning up under there, it's like that. I know, we moved there in 21, so I've only heard about the history of that, but there's junk there. The sea of vegetation that you mentioned is Japanese knotweed. I don't know if you're familiar with it. It's got a huge rhizome. It's very hard to eradicate. It's growing down onto our hillside. We haven't been able to do much except kind of battle it back. I've actually hired people at times to try to clear it numerous times just because that giant thing is invading and it's hard to eradicate. I hope you do research on that. I would hope any plan would be to make sure that is thoroughly dug up, remediated, gotten rid of, because that's going to continue to erode and just grow and kind of destroy the properties around. And that problem, as far as we can tell, comes from the next door lot. So that's my additional comment. I think my only other comment, I'm not an expert about drainage, but I see the dry wells there, and I don't know, I know that the soil isn't very absorbent on the mountain there, and there's a lot of rock and junk there, so I don't know if those, how well those, I don't want them to flood and overflow, but I don't really, I'm not an expert about that. I just would want to make sure they're going to work as expected. Thank you for your time and attention.
Okay, thank you very much. Yes, ma'am. Again, just state your name.
Kathy Gallione, 234 South Boulevard. Just gonna, the issues for 228 are similar to the ones for 214, and I think that my neighborhood's been poorly characterized by the gentleman up, which, the lots that are there and trees that have been topped and things like that. Well, the trees that have been topped have been from a neighbor who never comes to these meetings, who's on the upper side, who doesn't have to worry about all these drainage, issues. He just wanted the view, so he asked for forgiveness rather than permission. So I also, while I'm not a planning person, I am an environmental person. I've worked for the county for 25 years in environmental issues, and I know how erosion works. And it is the erosion that's happening now is eroding the bases of trees, and that makes them weaker during storms. So there's been a lot of storms lately. We all know the weather patterns are changing, so a lot of trees have been felled. That isn't like rogue neighbors, trying to expand their yards and such like that. It's natural occurrences, which emphasizes the point that erosion is an issue in this area. We've had a bunch of storms. They've taken trees down. The erosion hits the roots get weakened, the trees fall down. We have a neighbor that really loves a view, and he topped all those trees. The lot looks like crud, it really does, but it will be exacerbated as well as 214 if we just build another mound of soil on it, unquestionable land, and then all the stormwater and erosion issues will be exacerbated. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Anyone else? One more time. Anybody else wish to speak on this?
Motion to close public portion.
Second?
Second.
All in favor, aye? Okay, yes, sir.
Okay. Number one, no driveway is gonna go discharge downhill. There is not one bit of evidence to substantiate the driveway had to come out on South Boulevard. I don't care what anybody says. No way could you get a driveway off that lot any other way. It had to come out.
The map too, and I can't see of any easement that would allow you to come to the
Right,
lower
no
road,
way.
so-
That's number one. Now, I would like to know the guy's name who topped the trees, because I think he did a criminal thing. But, nobody says nothing, they said it. I would like to know who's responsible
in all honesty, it's not one spot. They topped on South, and then they went down onto Willow, and between Willow and Barrage, there are pictures of it, they topped all that. The problem is they topped all really nice trees.
Well,
So they left
I
this
hate to
scrub
say it,
brush.
but that
It is
onus
what it is.
goes on
We're not looking to
the
blame
people that were
anybody.
there. I mean,
You know,
that
but-
lived there, they should have stopped it or called the cops, done something.
And like I said, the
But
one
it's-
picture that shows the manhole with the rusted piece is the frame and cover of the manhole, and then you can see the cone of it, it's out of the ground. You can see the backyards are flat. It wasn't the applicant who did it. Somebody wanted a flat grass backyard, which I can understand, but that's where the natural drainage paths would have went. There's nothing any of us can do about it. Nobody knows when it was done, but, you know, the problem is it was done, at like the topping of
We
the
know we
tree.
have an issue here, we're trying to figure out the best
best way to
way
move forward, but it-
move forward. That's what
the-
we're trying to do. We're all trying to do that.
But
Mike, you
the
have
poor
something?
acts by others shouldn't be forced upon the applicant, I
Just-
don't believe.
Since,
We know that.
Mr. Bernard asked what else we want on the map, site.
We're gonna give you exactly what you want, but
Okay, well,
please, we're not,
maybe he's
re-
on,
when-
sightline.
right, we're not responsible,
Now, the
No,
retaining,
we're not saying you are.
okay.
no, we're
Or
not
is the
saying that.
client responsible? We've pretty much gotta give you what you want. If somebody thinks that's a hazardous waste, let them go to the authorities
Well-
and get it done. Right now, it's all hearsay.
We've been having those conversations there.
Well, but you could see what happens.
Yeah.
Okay, now, Phil over there, you gonna be using retaining walls on that property with the
Yes.
fill? There will be. There will be shown on the site
Oh, of
plan,
course, well,
retaining walls,
yeah.
okay?
Okay. Anything else on 214? All right, let's move on to 19.
It is for continuance.
Yes,
We're just gonna do one shot.
one-shot continuance on all of them. Well, I don't trust you because you're gonna give me two.
He's gonna go down, he's gonna ask number by number and ask for it. Okay, consultant's report on 19 College Avenue. Okay, this is July 23rd, 2025, Rick Oliver, Office of Building, Zoning and Planning. He has 9 comments. Office of Building, Zoning and Planning, Rick Oliver, December 10th, 2025. Again, 9 comments. Is that the same one? No, July 23rd, December 10th, okay. I have a letter from Department of Environmental Management, July 11th. They have 6 comments. A letter from the Bureau of Fire Prevention, Town of Orangetown, July 8th, 2 comments. I have a letter June 30th, 2025, Weston Sampson. No supporting information was provided to demonstrate mitigation for potential significant adverse impact as a result of increased stormwater runoff. We therefore recommend that, he's got on the bottom 228, but I don't know, but it says do not be approved at this time, of which there are 11 comments. I think Weston Sampson should get a little bit of a letter to find out why they keep putting 228 on the bottom. I have a letter from Roman Professional, July 8th, 2025. I have a letter from Rockland County Department of Planning, June 26th. And they remand local determination, decision letter. I have a letter from Alfred Gaddy, July 10th. Based on the maps provided, O&R has a service stub at adjacent area may be in conflict. I have a project narrative, no date. I have a short EAF signed May 28th, 2025. I have a letter from Don Brenner dated 2025 pertaining to 19 College. I have a letter from Michael Solis dated October 29th, which is a narrative. I have a letter dated November 4th, 2025 from Weston Sampson. And it says, it is our opinion the increased stormwater runoff can be successfully mitigated for this project. Again, Fort. Okay, we therefore recommend that the 2014 South Boulevard be approved for drainage slope to the above project comments, of which there are 1. I have this, 20th, okay. Audrey, anything else? Okay, thank you very much. Okay, Andy, questions or comments? This is on 19 College.
It's the same as 228 and 214.
I think they're all kind of redundant.
Same questions as last time, no change this time.
Okay.
No comment.
No comment.
Matt?
I thought you were gonna approve it.
Could open up to the public?
Motion open public portion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? None? Okay. Anybody from the public wish to speak on 19 College Avenue site plan? Yes, ma'am. State your name and address for the record.
Sharon Bailey, 225 South Boulevard. This is just a general comment for you. South Boulevard, when it was paved, was not crowned. So the water runs downhill.
Ma'am, this is on 19.
College.
I know, but they're talking about all the water that's running off. We live on a mountain. The water comes down that mountain, and all the houses there are getting water in the basements. But the road wasn't crowned, so it doesn't flow to the west and go into the manhole. It flows over the road and goes into the houses.
I understand, ma'am, but this is on a different project. Okay, I understand your concern.
I just wanted you to know that.
Okay, thank you very much.
You're talking about the awful road.
Yes. Okay, anybody else have any questions on 19 College Avenue? Hearing none, ask for a motion to close.
Motion to close public portion.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor? Any opposed? None. Okay.
Okay, last but not least.
Yeah, okay, now this is on 27 College Avenue. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna start off, Office of Building, Zoning and Planning, Rick Oliver, July 23rd. He has 10 comments. I have a letter from Office of Building and Zoning, Rick Oliver, December 10th. He has 14 comments. I have a letter from the Department of Environmental Management, Town of Orangetown, July 11th. He has 6 comments. I have a letter from the Bureau of Fire Prevention, July 8th, 2025, 1 comment. I have a letter from the Bureau of Fire Prevention, January 5th, 2026, 1 comment. I have a letter from Sampson, Weston Sampson, June 30th. No supporting information was provided to demonstrate the mitigation of potential significant adverse impacts as a result of stormwater runoff. We therefore recommend that it's not, it's 228, which is not, it's 27 College, not be approved for drainage. That's July 30th. I have a letter from Roman Professional Engineering, July 8th. I have a letter from Rockland County Department of Planning, June 26th. Remand local decision. I have a letter from Rockland County Department of Health, July 16th, 1 comment. I have a letter from Rockland County Sewer District Number 1, June 22nd, 2 comments. I have a letter from Alpha Gaddy, July 10th. Based on the map provided, O&R has a service stub in the adjacent area which may be in conflict. I have a project narrative. I have a short EAF dated May 28th, 2025. Don't have a letter from Weston Sampson
Yes, there is
approving
one.
drainage. I don't
No, we
have
got
it.
no form.
Yeah, there is
I
one.
know, it should be.
I'll resend it, that's not a problem.
Okay,
Same as the others.
okay. I'm almost positive it's there, but I just don't have it. Okay? Audrey, anything else? Okay. Andy, this is on 27 College.
Same as the other 3. No further questions.
Lisa, any question, any further? Mike, anything further?
No further questions.
Okay, Denise, anything further? Matt?
Nothing additional.
Matt? Bruce? Okay, motion to open to the public.
Motion open public portion.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? None? Okay. Anybody from the public wish to speak on this project? One more time. Anybody from the public wish to speak on this project? Hearing none, motion to close?
Motion to close public portion.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? None? Okay. Mr. Brenner, what would you like to do?
I now ask for a request to continue.
Drainage.
Okay. Wait a minute, hold on just a Yeah, we'll forward them the same.
So we do have a copy for this one.
It didn't have it from Weston Sampson. I have a copy of it, yeah.
Here you go, Trustee Sampson.
No,
Which is
this is
Trustee
Louise.
Sampson.
It's pertaining to it.
Okay, it's Trustee
All right.
Sampson.
Yeah.
I'll resend it, that's not a problem.
Okay, no problem. Thank you. Mr. Brenner? Yes, sir.
Asking for a continuance so we can deliver what the board wants.
Continuation on 04 projects?
Yes.
So it would be continuation on 228 South Boulevard site plan, continuation on 214 South Boulevard site plan, continuation on 19 College Avenue site plan, and a continuation of 27 College Avenue site plan. Is that correct, sir?
That's correct.
Thank you, sir.
Give me a vote.
All right, and
I
that's it,
don't
we
know, I
got
need a-
nothing else.
I need a-
Oh, you guys are here?
I need a vote. I'm not kidding. You gotta give me a vote that you're granting
Oh, okay.
continue.
Usually, we don't, you don't get a vote.
You don't?
No, in a continuation, you don't get a
Oh,
vote.
then I apologize. I thought you needed a vote.
No, you don't.
You got me wiped out.
See, I've screwed up enough tonight, I don't need any more help from you. Just trying to change all the rules. Okay,
Thank you.
okay, we have Uvo Fine Art Storage, which I have to make a deal with you, because I have a couple empty walls. This is PB 26-01.
How big are the walls? Yeah, see what we can do. We got that too?
I even have an empty wine cooler, so that's even better.
Mine always ends up empty. I don't know how that keeps happening, you know? But it vanishes very quickly. I'm not sure where.
I put a bottle in, I turn around, it's empty.
Yeah, it's very warm and dry in the house. It just goes away quick.
For a while, but it's not.
It evaporates.
That's that cheap wine, always does that. Thunderbird.
You gotta get better boxes.
Yes, sir, what can I do you for?
Well, we gotta get you a better grade of wine, that's.
I know.
All right, good evening, everybody. Happy New Year. Ira Emanuel, I'm the attorney for the applicant here. The Wovo Fine Art Storage is at 33 Kings Highway. It's an existing building. It was originally built as a factory, spent most of its life as a factory. In 2014 or so, I think it was. 29. 2009? Okay, in 2009, Wovo came in, and it was converted to fine art storage. Things have been going very well. They need to expand, approximately doubling the space that they've got. We've got a proposal to place the new space basically where the existing parking lot is. Ryan Nasher, our project engineer, can walk you through the layout.
Ryan Nasher from Atzel Nash and Ziegler. We are the engineers and the surveyor for the project. We prepared the site plan, page number 1 that shows what is there now is the existing building. And right to the south of the existing building, we have a big parking lot there. What is being proposed, the expansion to the existing building, which shows second page as the site development plan, is really on the existing improved area, the paved area. So due to the proposed expansion, which is about 54,000 some changes, it does not increase any impervious area on that existing building. It will increase some impervious area that is for the emergency access for the fire truck. So we prepared the plan that provide the impact for the drainage mitigation, and we proposed the underground infiltration that takes the drainage from the proposed improvement, the building. It also take the drainage from for the emergency, the access road is paved road. The loading dock is actually on the east side, and we have the proposed parking right there at the building. So We prepare and address all those possible impact to the drainage, impact to the erosion and the sediment control during the construction. We prepared the plan for the landscaping, is not much, and also the lighting plan. We did not propose too many lighting, it's just one lighting that shows, I'm gonna show you in the plan. It is on the drawing number 7. It has proposed one outdoor lighting and the wall pack around the building to the east side and the west side. The lighting modeling it shows is not impacting to the adjacent properties. It shows the 0-foot candle. So,
It should be all direct down lighting.
correct, it's gonna be pointing down, correct. And for the landscaping, it doesn't have too much of the land that really provide any screening. We have the landscaping right next to the drainage facility there. We have some landscaping over there, which is the area behind the parking lot and the grass island area. Just to mention that there's an existing big portion of, in the Kings Highway, that has the existing vegetation, okay? And we are just, majority we're keeping as is, okay? That really provide the natural buffer, you know, what is there right now. In terms of the traffic, it's not much of the traffic because the existing facility is used by the storage, the fine arts.
Yeah, you
And
have
it's
a
gonna
very,
be-
very light traffic flow.
Correct,
Yeah.
correct,
It's almost nil.
yeah. And in terms of
Expansion won't increase any personnel at the
Go to
building.
work in the
or
morning, go home at night, basically.
Same thing.
Yeah, yeah. So it's really, this project is not really too much of the impact, and if any possible impact is all addressed, lighting impact, you know, the landscaping we provided, drainage impact provided, erosion sediment control. So our goal is to get the neg deck to the planning board. We understand that we have to go to the ZBA and the ACOBOR and come back for the final, so.
Let me go through the consultant's reports.
Sure.
Office of Building, Zoning, and Planning, Rick Oliver, December 15th. He has 11. Department of Environmental Management and Engineering, Bruce Peters, January 13th, he has 22. Bureau of Fire Prevention, Town of Orangetown, January 5th, they have 8. I have a letter from Paul DeGance dated December 14th. He has 2 comments. I have a letter from Collier Engineering dated January 5th.
Yeah.
And overall, the proposed stormwater management plan appears to meet the intent of the regulations, and therefore we recommend that OVA fine art storage be approved for drainage subject to the above project comments, of which there are 11. Rockland County Department of Planning, dated January 6th, they have 14.1. 24.1, I'm sorry. I get, why they can't have 25, but 24.1. Rockland County Department of Planning, another one, dated December 19th, ran for local decision. I have Rockland County Health, January 13th, 1 comment. Rockland County Health, January 13th, 2 comments. Rockland County Sewer District Number 1, January 2nd, 2 comments. Rockland County Drainage, December 10th, they have 2 comments. I have a letter from Alfred Gaddy, December 3rd. Based on the drawings provided, there should not be any gas conflict with the proposed work. I have another from Matthew Shook. And just he says, thanks for sending this way, PIPC does not have any comments at this time. I have a letter from Rockland County Planning dated January 12th, comments attached. Letter from Rockland County Planning, December 2nd, 25, consenting Town of Orangetown be lead agent. I have a full EAF. This gets all very confusing, because
12/11/25.
Yeah. Right. What was it, 11/25 you said?
12/11/25.
Yeah.
It revises the short EAF, which is 8/12/25.
Because, okay, and I had something here, because, part of their, which I felt very interesting, the Rockland County planning, they said they didn't get the full AF, and then later on in the same letter, they said they got it, so,
It's 24.1.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, we will prepare a response to, we just got this the day before the PRC meeting, which was a week later because of the holidays, so we're still working on preparing a response to the County Planning Department letter. That doesn't stop a neg deck. There are some issues that were raised by the County Planning Department letter that require a little investigation by us and a little bit of extra work. But again, any of that work would require a neg deck in order to go forward anyway. You did mention a letter from Rick Oliver. I don't have a copy of that.
Okay, he had, I have two, December 15th.
I don't have anything from Rick.
January 12th?
No, I don't have a January 12th.
I don't have anything from Rick Oliver.
Oh, receipt, yeah, dated,
Here.
Oh, I'm sorry, it's actually the second page.
Oh, you do have it?
Yeah,
We do have it?
all right, no, that's okay, we get more. I know Rick Oliver, he'll give me another one.
You can keep it.
Yeah, I don't have, I guess it
That's not a
didn't print out. Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you. So,
I just wanted to make comment that when I was reading the Rockland Planning, one saying that we didn't get, we didn't get the EAF, and now the other one says we did in the same letter, so anyway. Yeah, exactly. All right. Andy, questions or comments?
You're gonna remove a mezzanine?
Yes, partial mezzanine in the interior space. It's the darkest color there on the screen is what's removed.
And you're removing it?
It's currently used as storage. We're gonna just continue to use it as storage, except it'd be from the first floor taller storage.
You have a landscape plan, you said?
Yeah.
I believe the last sheet. Yeah, the architectural is what you're showing on screen. They're not looking at the civil.
do you have the site plan? Why don't you- Yeah, we have a planting plan with details. Sheet L701 and L801 towards the back.
No, it should be in the site plan? No, okay. If you want, I
He's got
could.
it there.
Oh, you got it? Yeah, yeah.
So it's really not a lot of landscape that you're gonna do.
No, there's an existing buffer from the road
Yeah.
that's gonna remain.
Yeah, you've got about 120 to 130 feet from Kings Highway that is very, very heavily wooded. If you've been past the site, you'll go right past it, trying to find it.
Yeah.
What stream is this? You label stream up here, what is that? That's not the.
Well,
Creek, is it?
no, this is unnamed stream, and it's really very shallow, and it's not like, bank full of the water or anything. It just, and this is how they have named it, unnamed watercourse, basically.
And we have a no jurisdiction letter from County Drainage.
It's a babbling brook.
It might be. I've not interviewed it, Mr. Chairman.
I mean, the landscape plan. With the landscape plan that they have, maybe.
Well, let's see what the rest of the board members say. Okay, Lisa, anything?
That would be welcome, thank you.
No, the plans are pretty clear.
Okay, Mike, here's a couple. questions.
Okay, we're under 1 acre disturbance,
More than 1 acre.
No,
is
we're
about-
over.
About 3.5, more than 1 acre, and.
over an acre,
Yes.
Yes,
so you have to put a full split in there.
correct, and that has been submitted, is currently under review, as Bruce said.
What's the height of the building?
The proposed building is 29 feet 6 inch.
Okay.
We know that there is a comment in the PRC. We're gonna provide the certification for the existing building height. We have some laser, we're gonna go out there, take the measurement, and give you the information. I took a note, but again, we didn't get a chance to review and we've submitted. It will be all provided.
30 feet 1 inch. You can do that.
We're gonna evaluate the racking plans and figure out how low exactly we can go to get us closer to 29.
Now, Mr. Peters wrote this thing, he doesn't have one underground storage, wants above ground pool.
You know, the way, well, in the PRC, we explained that the room that you have right now is really, you know, too close to the roadway. If you wanna do the open ground, you gotta understand, it's like in a 75,000 pound of the fire truck gonna run in, the bank gonna collapse, okay? And if you go too far, that's just like a stream, you're just too tight a spot.
So you're gonna speak to him about going back to the underground storage?
Yeah, but he said in the comment that he understood it's not practical, but again, he said provide. You know, maybe he is a typo, or we'll figure out with him, you know.
In the prior ones, he had to put it in the narrative, you couldn't do that because, when you listed there, in writing. The road, it's too close to the roadway, which has to provide 75,000 pound fire truck. It's too close to the stream, you could erode the bank.
Correct.
So that's, I think he did that in 1 or 2 prior ones, where he talked about the underground versus the above ground storage.
You know, we,
Okay. Solve the problem.
Okay.
Suggestion.
We'll take that, we'll take that advice.
Right.
correct,
And please explain why you're using so much.
absolutely, yeah, yep,
Okay, thank you, no other questions. Sounds like a great project.
thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
That's it? Okay. I'm sure. Denise?
I'm good for now.
Okay. Matt?
Only thing I have that's not familiar, the proposed use is just for art storage, there's not like plans for like doing auctioning or any other
No.
activity?
This is a very, very secure facility. We are talking about museum-quality art and antiques that are stored there. Client does not want people coming in and out.
Not at this facility. Matt?
I think it's a great project.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bruce?
Great project also.
Thank you. Didn't you hear when they first walked in, I said I have some empty space, because I know what they have in there. I got some empty
They offered
space.
you Pop's wine in exchange.
It's a pretty good offer. No, it sounds pretty good.
Motion to open portion.
Second?
Oh, second.
All in favor? Anybody from the public wish to speak on this project? Yes, ma'am, please step forward, sign in, and then state your name and address for the record.
Hi, my name is Tammy Shine. I live at 6.
Talk a little bit closer to the mic, thank you.
I live at 6 Deer Park Road in Orangeburg. My backyard directly looks right at this building. I really am not necessarily opposed of this project by any means, but my concern is the creek is there, and over the years that I have lived there, I am noticing that it's widening, and so that is an issue if you're thinking of putting a roadway cutting through, I guess, the woods, per se. Do I see another entrance? I'm not sure if I'm reading this properly. Is there a second entrance that's going to be put there?
Do you want to use
Yes,
the drawings?
yeah, there's an emergency, there's an,
Well, you posted, but it's not a normal entrance.
there's an emergency entrance that was requested by the fire inspector.
Right.
Okay.
It's not an everyday entrance. In other words, if there's an issue with the fire department, it gives them access.
Okay, and so, but it's obvious it's going to be paved, and trees are going to be removed, and it's going to be like how close to the creek, per se?
Well,
And the only thing I will say also is, periodically, when it does rain heavily, that does get very high. But it's never gone enough going towards your side. It more tends to go towards my backyard and not towards your, I guess the elevation of however it is, it's fine. But I'm just curious on where that additional roadway will be, since that's like my backyard.
Yeah, unfortunately, it has to get out, sorry.
Okay, we'll take that as a given.
That's it.
Okay, thank you very much. Anyone else? Yes, sir, please sign in and then state your name and address and microphone, please.
How you doing? My name is Michael Donovan. I live at 5 Deer Park Road. What she was just addressing, Tammy, yeah, when it does rain, that little babbling brook goes over Kings Highway. Okay, I've seen it. But I have a few questions, actually. The lighting. You mentioned the lighting. You said it was down lighting? That's going to be at that location.
Right down along the wall.
Okay.
You're gonna get a little bit of a glow off the property, but you're not gonna have any light per se off the property.
Okay, yeah, because my property, I border county park land to the north and to the west. Also, I believe, isn't that a Spark Hill Creek tributary? Or that?
Sure, I don't know.
I think it is protected under Army Corps of Engineers. Might want to look into that. And that's just going to be a fire road going through there?
Right.
There's going to be no traffic?
Strictly for access for fire equipment if needed.
And how many trees are they going to take down when they do that?
I'm not sure. I think they have a plan that'll show us how many are. I'm not sure exactly the number.
Due to the proposed building, there is no tree because it's going to be on the existing parking lot. There's no, and the proposed.
For the road.
Yeah, far lane, let me see. Yeah, let me see.
I don't know that we actually identified trees in that area because it's so heavily wooded.
Trees may be small enough with everything.
No, that's pretty wooded over there.
Okay.
Yeah.
We'll show on the map then.
Yeah.
Well, we only show trees over a certain diameter, as you know.
Yeah.
So I don't know that we've actually done a tree survey in that area since we weren't planning any significant disturbance. Didn't take all.
We don't show any tree to be removed in that area.
Well,
We could,
I mean, we are removing trees in that area, obviously, because it is so heavily wooded, we just don't know. We haven't identified them.
And someone think, we come back.
we could provide, sure.
We could do a
Trees.
limited tree survey.
Right, yeah.
Please,
sure.
Let's stay in what's.
Sure, no problem.
And if they do that with the tree, if they remove trees, are they going to plant trees?
Well, if you remove a tree.
Was that?
Put a road in, you can't plant a tree. So
No, I'm talking about along the whole.
Landscape plan, which also includes that.
The reason why I bring that up is it's called Deer Park Road for a reason. They eat everything, the deer. So is that going to be maintained for a couple of years after they plant?
So they're gonna put in deer-resistant trees, shrubbery,
What kind of shrubbery is that?
deer-resistant. I don't know the names
Lead
offhand.
giant arborvitae, leaves.
I have those, they
Yeah.
eat those as well.
Yeah.
So there's really nothing deer resistant anymore.
Leaves and cypress is still.
If they're hungry, they'll eat your house.
Yes.
That's beside the point. But they,
Okay.
don't put in deer-resistant trees. That's all we can ask you to do.
Time's up.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much. Okay. Anyone else have any questions or comments on this project? One more time. Anybody else have any questions or comments? Hearing none, motion to close.
Motion to close public portion.
Second. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? None. Okay. We're gonna move with the, motion for lead agent.
Motion for lead agent.
Second?
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? None. Motion for, neg deck.
Motion for neg deck.
Second?
Second.
All in favor? Any opposed? None? Okay. Motion for preliminary.
Motion.
Preliminary with conditions.
Motion for preliminary with conditions.
And
Okay, so we talked about, here we'll be able to revise plans when we come back. So they'll be back.
I know it's not my time to speak, but there's no loading dock either on that side, right?
Whatever the plan shows, it should be planned.
No, it's confusing, you
We
can't
can
tell.
talk outside.
Yeah,
That's what.
okay, we want to finish this up. Okay, Office of Building, Zoning and Planning, Rick Oliver, December 15th. Bureau of Environmental Management and Engineering, January 13th. Bureau of Fire Prevention, January 5th. Paul Gadance, December 14th. Collier Engineering, December 5th. Rockland County Department of Planning, January 6th. Rockland County Department of Planning, December 19th. Rockland County Department of Health, January 13th. Rockland County Health, there's two of them. One is one comment, and the second one is two comments. Also, Rockland County Health, 13th. Rockland County Sewer District Number 1, January 2nd. Rockland County Drainage, December 10th. Okay, do I have a second? Second. All in favor? Opposed? None. You got it, sir.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Chairman, thank you, members.
You're quite welcome.
Mr. Chairman, one question I do have, in the county planning department letter, they talked about a referral to the New York State Department of Transportation. Has that been sent? And if not, we would ask that it eventually be overridden.
Who has that?
In county planning
County?
department. It's
Comment number 3.
number 3, I believe, yeah. And it's their standard comment, because we're within 500 feet of Route 340, even though we don't touch Route 340. So if it's been sent out, fine. If it hasn't been sent out, we'd ask for
3,
an
I thought it was
override.
the 2.
Audrey's checking.
She's gonna check on it.
Okay,
You know what? Leave it here. When you come back, you could always take it out.
that's fine.
Okay, we'll research it and see if it has to be, or,
Yeah, it
For
doesn't.
the final
yeah,
product.
probably,
Yeah, I just don't want that hanging out there.
no, I know. Just make sure you bring it back up.
Will do.
All right? Okay,
Yes. It's been sent. Perfect, thank you.
Okay, good.
thank you, gentlemen.
Okay, we'll see.
Thank you all
we'll see
very much.
soon.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.
It's about time. Gatto Lane. Where you guys been all day?
Discussing the rest
You're
of
the
the
last
evenings.
one. You had to wait to be last, huh?
Special needs people, you know?
Come on up and sign in.
Yourself,
Get
pal.
the project rolling. Oh, we're doing good. I figured we're gonna be running later than this.
Thank you, everyone. It's nice.
Can you leave the plans? Can you not take the plans? They're not, yeah, please leave.
Huh? Well, you know, this is early.
They're available on the website, if you look on Orangetown.com. And you keep on showing up, yeah.
You guys have never been here for long. You're not gonna come up here? Oh, he's coming up here. I'm sorry. You guys are afraid of us?
Hell no. You've been here enough times to know that.
Says reserved for Don Brenner, so I can't take it.
You didn't have to do all that. You could have done that.
You guys have changed things since I've last been here. Gotten more futuristic.
Yes, sir. What can we do you for?
My name is Frank Toto. I'm with Weston and Sampson. I'm here.
Oh, by the way, I have to, wait a minute, hold on a second. This is Gatto Lane Fence Site Plan Amendment, PB 26-02. Now you can do it.
Hello, my name is Frank Toto. I'm with Weston and Sampson, here on behalf of the applicant Toll Brothers. The planning board previously reviewed and approved the site plan for Gatto Lane, which is now currently under construction. The applicant seeks planning board approval for minor amendments and modifications to the site plan. The applicant proposes to construct a solid 6-foot-high cedar perimeter fence along 3 sides of the property that includes both side yards as well as the rear yard of the property. The fence is intended to provide additional screening for adjacent property owners as well as the future residents of the Gatto Lane project. We believe this is a benefit to the project and the surrounding community alike. The applicant respectfully requests a waiver from Akabar due to the minor nature of this proposal. We believe this falls under the planning board jurisdiction. Are there any questions from the planning board?
Well, let's go through the consultants' reports and we'll see if there's questions. Excuse me. Office of Building and Zoning Planning, Rick Oliver, December 15th. He has 5 comments. Bureau of Fire Prevention, Town of Orangetown, January 5th, they have 1 comment. I have a letter from Paul DeGance, December 14th. He has 3 comments. Rockland County Sewer District Number 1, January 2nd, they have 2 comments. I have a letter from Alfred Gaddy, December 3rd. Based on a drawing provided, there should be no gas conflict for the proposed fence. I have another letter from Matthew Shook, December 2nd. PIPC has no comments. And I have a letter from the Department of Environmental Management and Engineering, January 13th, 1 comment. I have a letter from Rockland County Department of Planning, December 19th, with land local determination. And that's it. Anything else, Audrey? Thank you. E&A, questions or comments?
The fence is intended for privacy of the future residents of Gatto Lane as well as the adjacent neighbors. That's correct.
It's gonna be wooden cedar?
That's correct, yes. We brought a picture if you'd like to see it.
Who's going to maintain it?
The HOA of Gatto Lane.
Is it, you're gonna be stained or just, what is it, pressure treated probably?
As you see it.
I have nothing for it.
Okay, thank you. Lisa? Mike?
What is it, 4.5 feet on the street side?
That's correct. It will be 4.5 feet within the front yard. So it's 100 foot for 4.5 feet. Yeah.
Denise?
So it's abutting an existing fence that looks just, is that a picture of the new fence, the existing, they look the same?
That is a picture of the proposed fence, the new fence. It may abut existing adjacent fences along the encroaching neighbors' chain link fences. But none of the neighbors' fences are intended to be removed. It follows the existing fence line, even if they are encroaching the property.
So you just do it like inset from where their fence line is?
That's correct.
Okay. And then what does the monument look like?
We're just looking for approval of the new location at this time.
No. Matt? No. Bruce? No. Okay, thank you. Motion to open up to the public?
Motion on public, motion.
Second? Second. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? None. Open up to the public. Anybody wish to speak on this? Please do me a favor, sign in. Sure. And then step up to the microphone, please. State your name and address for the record, please, sir.
Good evening, all. My name is Bob Arturi. I'm from 163 Gatto Lane. You've all seen me before, as I have you. I have a couple of questions. Number one, where is there's supposed to be a 50-foot barrier or a 50-foot buffer between us and Toll Brothers. I don't know where it is. I know that they've clear-cut just about every single tree that existed on this 10 acres. A couple of my neighbors, luckily not me, have experienced, because of the high winds due to the lack of trees falling over into their yards, okay? This fence, I understand, is supposed to be aesthetically very nice. It's going to be cedar, whatever it is, but is it going to define the 50-foot buffer?
No, it's on the property line.
It's on the property line, and where is that property line? Because I'm concerned, there are little pink flags all over the place, some closer in, some not to me, so I don't know where that property line is,
Wherever
okay?
it is, I can't tell you, because I don't know where the pink flags are.
Do you have any idea?
Probably, I'm guessing, now this is strictly a guess, that it's gonna be up to the abutting fence of the neighbor. Because normally, if you're a neighbor, you would put a fence on your property, you would go out to the property line. So I'm guessing that their fence would be next to yours.
I don't have a fence, so, but yeah, I understand what you're saying, okay? Because and therefore, so is the walking path going to be inside that fence or outside that fence?
If the walking path is on their property, it'll be inside the fence.
Okay, and that's where all their promised trees will be, on that side of the fence?
Correct.
Okay? Any idea when that tree planting is going to start? Because a lot of them are falling. I'm just wondering what's going to happen. Do you have any idea on that?
Address everything to us.
Okay. Is there any plan to say when they're going to begin planting trees?
We will ask them.
Okay, okay. That's about it for now. Thank you for your time.
Okay, thank you very much. Yes, sir.
Oh, I gotta sign in.
Yes, sir, please. State your name and address for the record, please.
Gotta raise my hand. Randolph F. Johnson, 26 Gatto Lane. Everything they do is haphazardly, so they tell you one thing and they go ahead and do what they want to do. Is he have any answer exactly? Is more trees gonna be taken down? Is it gonna be put along the rock wall? There's a horrible drainage pond they put there that almost abuts everybody's properties. And what is the guarantee that the fence is going to be maintained? Because after they sell it to another one of their companies, they sell it to the homeowner association. And when is it going to be put up? I mean, this project's going to linger for years the way it's going.
We don't have the answers. I'm gonna ask him.
Okay.
Okay?
He's by himself this time, so.
All right. Okay. Anyone else from the public who wishes to speak on this? Okay, hearing none, motion to close?
Motion to close public
Do
portion.
you have a second? All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? None. Okay. When are you gonna start planting trees that you promised to plant for, around the property?
I'll review that timeline with the applicant and provide a response to that.
Yes. I'm sorry.
I'll review that with the applicant and provide a response to that.
We kind of want to know now, do you have a timeline for it?
I do not.
Okay. When do you plan on starting the fence? Any timeline?
We're still looking for approval for the fence.
Once you get the approval, when are you gonna start?
Yeah.
I believe it would be installed after the houses have been constructed. It'd be with landscaping and the fence, it's a landscaping amenity. It's
Probably when you do all the landscaping, you do the fence and then do the
correct.
landscaping inside. Okay. So that would most likely be done when the buildings are all done and you clean up and the final part of the project.
Correct.
Okay. That's your answer, gentlemen.
Is there any timeline?
No, when they get done with the buildings.
5 years?
No, he wants to get in yesterday because he wants us to start selling these things to make money, okay? So he's not gonna put this off any longer than possible.
They take their time.
Okay, but that's, okay. Well done. That's the only answer he has for me and I can give to you.
It's ongoing.
So when the buildings are done, they start the landscaping, that's when the fence will go up, most likely. You're all done, sir.
I got just one question.
Yeah, sure.
Is it possible to put a contingency on the maintenance that it needs to be maintained throughout, every year, whatever? Is that an option for us to put something like that as a contingency on the?
I don't know if we can do that.
That's what, on landscape?
No,
On the fence.
Being that it's wooden, like that, that is somewhat of a.
The town has property maintenance regulations, so they can be cited if they don't.
Okay.
Do we have to vote to give them approval?
Yeah, okay, what was this for? This for, final, okay. Okay,
Motion for,
okay, go ahead.
motion for lead agency.
Oh, I'm sorry, motion for lead agent? Okay, second, all in favor? Aye.
Aye.
A motion for final, I guess?
Motion for neg deck.
Okay, I thought we did all this. We have to reaffirm?
It's a new plan. This
Okay,
was
no
not
problem.
presented before, so.
Motion for neg deck,
Second.
all in favor? Aye. A motion to amend the site plan?
Did we close public portion?
Yeah. we- Okay, do I have a motion to amend the final site plan?
Are they going, is there an act for on this one?
They did request, it is one of the comments, because it's 6 feet, and one of the, it's supposed to be 4.5 on one of the
On the
signs.
street side. We have, Bill sponsors Akabor, so approval would require file a condition with they have to go to Akabor.
They have to go to that board, yes.
So motion for final,
With
based
condition.
upon conditions and that they have to go to Akabor.
Okay.
Would the board entertain a waiver for a macrobore for this? No.
I would, personally, I wouldn't, because quite a few of our consultants has recommended that you do go, and I think for both for the fence and the monument sign. Okay, especially the monument sign, because they're the one that set that up. Okay? Okay, let me go through the conditions. Office of Building, Zoning, and Planning, Rick Oliver, December 15th. I need those from you. The Bureau of Fire Prevention, January 5th. Olga Dance, December 14th. Rockland County Sewer District, number 1, January 2nd. Office of Building, Zoning, and Planning, January 13th. Rockland County Department of Planning, December 19th, and that's it. Okay, anyone else? No, can I have a second? No second? Oh, okay. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Okay, you got it, sir.
Thank you.
Good luck.
Go back
Thank
to
you.
the original plans, you can find that there's one sheet that shows the landscape plan, which they have to comply with.
Just to clarify, the conditions are Akabor for fence and monument sign, and was there a condition about the 4-foot or 4.5-foot fence in the front yard, or no, is that just something that he's going to revise for? Is that a condition, or?
No.
No.
Just to revise the plan?
No.
So just Akabor for the fence and sign then?
Correct.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, you're quite welcome. Thank you.
Okay, sir.
All right.
Good
That's
night,
it, gentlemen.
everybody.
Thank you very much.
Good night.
You got to approve the minutes.
And we also have the town of Clarkstown as well.
Okay. Motion for plan for garage, shade, furlong, town of Clarkstown, zoning board of appeals, appeal number 4426, adjourn municipal law referral, 226 Sickle Road, West Nyack, refer for local determination.
So I have Mr. Mandela, motion, I need a second.
Yeah.
No, second, sorry.
All in favor? Aye.
Perfect.
Now you got to do
Okay,
this.
motion to approve the minutes of December 10th,
Mhm.
2025. Second.
I wasn't there.
I wasn't here either.
I think Okay, second is by Mr. Bond, who was present at that meeting. Mr. Andrews, in favor?
Yes.
Mr. Mandel's in favor?
I was
You
here.
were here.
I was
Mike-
here.
I was here, right?
Yeah, right, you were here.
Yeah.
And,
Mike Corey was here.
no,
Bruce was here, so you had enough.
okay, you got four.
And then just a motion to close the meeting, please.
Motion to adjourn,
I second that one.
all in favor?
Aye. Any opposed? None. If not, stay here all night.
Who seconded? Who seconded?
I did.
I will, thank you.
Oh, it's anybody you want. What the hell?
I think we all self-nominated.
Some of these are record minute meetings.
And thank you,